Reconnected successfully. Okay, stop giving me pop-ups. Let's see. Why are things happening? Why is it always when Roots can't fucking fix things? Because they had to be a cool person with friends and had scheduled things. Nothing. I crawled from bed for you, Cryptid. Very sweet. Is it all still working? Please, somebody let me know. I can't tell. The ad froze for you? The actual ads froze? I didn't know that was an option. I didn't know my scuff could be so bad I could actually freeze the ads. Why is my viewer count 0 now? Book 3's outline is done. You love it so much now. I'm so happy for you, Chatty Maddie. Can I refresh this page? Oh, the full stream started over. Full stream started over. Okay, hopefully that's the one time that will happen. I don't know why that happened, but hopefully it's all better now. Otherwise I'll have to go yell at Roots to like leave their friends and come over here and fix this. You got an AI Jeep ad? Oh, that's horrible. No. That's gross. It's working now after I relaunched the stream. Yeah, the stream fully like it ended and then it's restarted. There was like an OBS crash or something. Was that from my end? Was that on Twitch's end? I'm not quite sure because people were saying the ads froze. That's crazy. What's going on with my phone? Twitch is stuttering. Okay, so it's not just me, it's just Twitch. Okay, maybe it's just a Twitch thing. Maybe it's not me, maybe it's not my scuff. Can you guys imagine scuff so strong I turn off Twitch? That would be insane. That would be crazy. My sister just asked me if Red Bull F1 was my favorite F1 team and is now not responding. Wait. Not responding, help, what? I don't know if anyone can help you with that. That's between you and your sister. You feel the AI rush is coming to an end now after RAM prices keep rising? Wasn't there something else? I only saw the title, so I didn't actually read the article, full disclosure. There was like some company that had like the chatbots that were like people's AI husbands and waifus and girlfriends and stuff, right? It was like those type of things. And that company shut down like without warning. And so like everyone woke up the next day and was like, oh, my virtual husband, my virtual girlfriend who was totally gonna marry me, my best friend buddy, husbando, who's like totally real, even though it's AI. Like, you killed them, give them back. And everyone's like, dude, the company shut down. You're not getting them back. That wasn't real. Water. Best line of the story. Oh, my thing. Yeah, we were talking about the Boston accent with somebody who wanted like explaining things and how like as in the Boston accent, as there's more R's, they progressively get more dropped, at least to my hearing. So water is wada, but waterer is water. What? I can't do it now, I can't force it, fuck. But the second R is more dropped than the first R. And if you had words that had like 3 R's in it, then the third R would be like nearly invisible. It would be like gone, right? You mean the GPT-4? I have no idea. Those are just letters and numbers you told me. I have no I have no earthly clue what that means. I don't use the chat GPT stuff. I don't even know how to turn it on, or if that's like a place you go to. It was just like being like, yeah, if the companies are already shutting down, like it's only a little bit of time left, right? They're not gonna last much longer. Yeah, what is the GPT for? Oh, I think it's one of the I was telling the story about like there was some chat GPT company thing and it shut down. So the next day everyone woke up and they didn't have access to their to their chatbot husbands and girlfriends and waifus and stuff, and they were all freaking out, and everyone else is like, hee hee. I have no idea if that's the one or not. I just remember reading that article a while ago. I've seen people revolt against GPT for removing Model 4.0 because it was the version of ChatGPT that would agree constantly. Oh, no, I don't think it was a version. People had a relationship with that. It was like a company, like closed down. A company like foreclosed overnight. Okay, my sister's boyfriend is a Red Bull F1 fan. You like him? That means you have to get it in writing that you can keep them if they split up or they get divorced. You had to get that in writing. That's why she was asking me. Oh, that's strange. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know about any of these things. I was just saying, like, full disclosure. I just saw like the title of the article. I didn't even bother reading it. Yeah, you need in writing. See, that's the smart thing. That's the smart play. Anyway, now that it's been a few minutes without scuff, knock on wood. Let's go ahead and look through the thing here. The oldest in the submission queue is Solar. Oh, but it sounds similar anyways. Okay, maybe it's been happening a lot. I have I have no idea. Oh no. I feel like my OBS is like, so the OBS thingamajig, it's not working right. This is where the chat's supposed to be, and it's just showing all these things. I don't know how to fix it, so I just took it off the screen. But I really miss having my chat on the OBS screen too. It made it so much easier to read. So anyway, it's just off screen today, so now my screen feels naked. Wasn't there a guy in Japan who married his chatbot and had a full-on wedding? Isn't that like a thing? Wasn't there somebody who like married Hatsune Miku? Isn't that a thing? I don't know. So it's Solar, it's Losi Lore. I don't believe I saw them in chat yet. It's Death's Head, if Death's Head's in yet. ChatGPT won't go away. They will come out with another model as people pay for it. That's what I was saying. It was a company that was like hugely successful. People are like paying for all the different things for their virtual, digital, waifu, husbando, chatbot thingamajig. And then the company just foreclosed anyway. It just can't keep up. As long as it's making money, don't expect. That's one of the things. It's not being hugely financially successful. Oh, you were about to say that about the Hatsune Miku thing? Yeah. Some lady married an AI guy. I'm not surprised anymore. A guy in Japan. I thought I misread it for a minute. I thought you knew the guy who married Miku. Not a guy in Japan who married Miku. I thought you knew him, like, personally. You were like, yeah, that's my cousin Frank. Oh, hi, Velvet. It's good to see you. Some lady married herself and then got a boyfriend and divorced herself. It's interesting studying humankind. It's interesting. I'm making notes every day as I learn more about humans. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like exactly that company. That was somebody else mentioned that company. I didn't say it was that one author. Like I have no idea which company it was. It was just a company that shut down. Yeah, it's what you're right. A lot of them, they're not financially successful. They are losing money. Blame calculus too. There's free websites that help you with math. You could just do the free websites. Humans are weird. We elves left the wilds for a reason. Man, maybe I should have joined the elves. I didn't know. I was just stuck in my swamp, and I only came out. And I only saw humans. You're like your new boyfriend? She's dated some pieces of shit in the past. Oh, that means you gotta keep an eye out. If there's a pattern, you never know. I'm just saying. Maybe this one's just better at hiding it. You gotta keep an eye out. Gotta keep an eye out for that kind of shit. Where was I? So, Death's Head I didn't see yet. I don't know who H is, but they have the story The New Shifter King. If they're in chat. Aw, she doesn't wear makeup with them. That's nice. That's a good sign. I mean, it's a basic sign, but it's a good sign. Eli or Ellie, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, did those before her. Koizetsu, I don't believe we saw Koizetsu in chat yet. Slim, just has chapter 1, the first one. I don't know who R is in Discord, but they did El Candidito and the Rooster, but I don't know if I've seen them. I thought we were yapping about AI because we got an AI ad. Those ads are like weird. I don't like those ads. I already don't like ads. I think ads are like one of my least favorite things about like, because I like consuming human media. It's like really cool seeing all the different ways humans tell stories. I'm not sure if I like the ads I have to watch before I can watch some of the stories. I don't know. Constantly getting sports betting ads. Oh, yeah. Here in Florida, they're really going in a lot on that because there's some like new apps and some new things that are like exclusive for that like you can legally bet in Florida now on those things. So like they're going all out on those. I had too many toxic girlfriends. I thought I was a problem for a while until I looked at my trauma, then realized I'm attracted to crazy. I bet. Oh. The only ads that are good are Super Bowl ads. Really? Oh, I haven't watched Super Bowl ads yet. Even those kind of suck this year. Oh, there's like a rating system? There's like judging? I didn't know humans judged the ads. Is that what the Super Bowl is about? You judge the ads? Oh, wow. I thought it was like a sport thing, so I didn't watch it. I haven't gotten into the human sports yet. I'm still learning. I thought being a cryptid out there, I thought it was just like perfectly fine. Like the most sport thing you do is like throw things for like other creatures to chase after. And that was like the thing. Like, you know, you throw balls for dogs, and like you throw like dead animal pieces out to the vultures, like that kind of stuff. I thought that was as far as sports were advanced. But now leaving it and seeing humanity, I'm like, oh, you guys have so many more sports. There's a lot of sports. Puppy Monkey Baby was rent-free in my head. I have no idea what that is, but hey, good for it, getting a place that's rent-free. Yeah, Puppy Monkey Baby is the best one. What is this? What words are you guys saying already, and I haven't even met him? Oh my god, what is this? This sounds like a whole nother language. I had to write 2 emotional death scenes in book 3. I already had to do that in book 1 and then book 2. Book 3 just went love tears. Apparently so does Barry. You get emotional trauma, and you get emotional trauma. I might need to watch it? Okay, hold on. Let me write down my little human... I have little notes here on the side. Hold on. Let me... Okay, it's... I had to write down. Puppy, Monkey, Baby, Chimera, Mutant, Possible, Ads, Deity, Lives in Human Brains. Infection? Worm? Brain worm? Question marks. Okay. Must research more later. Okay, I've written it down. It was a Mountain Dew ad? Wait, what does Mountain Dew have to do with 3 separate animals being one animal? Wait, see, this is why I don't get ads. It's confusing. Bridget has a boyfriend who gave her a baby. Well, she's a grieving widow mom now. Oh no! So that was... We have Bobicus. Did we have Bobicus in chat yet? Oh, and then if Bobicus isn't here yet, then it's actually you next, what? It's Bobicus and then you, so if Bobicus isn't here yet, then we can start with you, what, if you're interested. Super Bowl ads are like the most trippy ads you'll ever see sometimes. Oh. He's trying to get me to convince my sister... to go to the Austin race? See, that's the other thing too, like kind of racing, like the car racing stuff. That's kind of like sports for the other inventions humans made, right? So like humans have their own sports, and then humans made other things, and then those other things also go into sports. There's like a lot. It's like sportsception. Oh man. Okay, like the goat bard? How's it gonna help? Yep. I don't understand the yip thing from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I guess you had to specify because there's like multiple. Oh. But yeah. Lots of human stuff I'm camping out. So I'm not hearing from Bobicus, so we can go ahead and start with... No, that's the wrong clicky. With what? I'm gonna go ahead and load the document now, and hopefully, cross our fingers and knock on some wood here, we won't have any more scuff issues today. I don't know what some of that scuff in the beginning was. Here we go. Let me go ahead and readjust some stuff. You haven't ridden in months because you've been super busy? Wait, racing just had the biggest incident in Australia? The human racing or the car racing? Yeah, a kangaroo got killed? Wait, was the kangaroo racing? Or was the kangaroo just where they were racing at? It was car racing. Oh no, that's so sad. Help me get back into writing. Go write, otherwise you'll never get fresh trash from the trash can again. There. See, now I put that thread out there. Now if you want to be a raccoon who gets fresh trash, then you gotta start writing. I don't know. No one can make you be motivated to do it except yourself. What did you do? What did I do? What did I do? I don't know what I did. What did I do? Creative one. What happened? It hopped onto the track. Oh no. Sabotage. That's really sad. Why are you guys telling me the sad thing? Hi Cryptid. Hi Creative One. It's good to see ya. Right now we're actually going to start with what tonight? What? Do you remember what section we left off at? Or what chapter? Chapter 6? Maybe it's chapter 6. Okay, yeah, you said chapter 6. Sweet. Look, you haven't heard from Frozen Scarecrow in forever. I know, I got a really sweet message from them before, after they started streaming, and it was, they actually, were donating to this artist and stuff, and they paid for this, they were, ornamental birds, the birds that hang up as ornaments on your Christmas tree, so this lets you know this was, kind of around December or January that he messaged me, I forget which. And then Frozen Scarecrow actually donated money to the artist and got the ornament bird based off my cryptid model. So it's a blue bird. It's a blue bird Christmas ornament. And I want to add a section to the Discord soon that has fan works that are archived. Because Arthur Relic technically gave us her very first fanfic about Commander Roots and me cryptid. And then Frozen Scarecrow bought this little this little ornamental bird persona, and I want to have that there. The racing season is starting. Wait, there's already... You just said there was racing, that there was an accident, but racing season hasn't started yet? F1 or NASCAR? There's... Oh. See, that's what I was saying. There's so many... Humans really like sports. I'm gonna have to get a whole entire different human book to study sports. There's multiple different series. Oh, book series? There's different racing series? Oh. On Discord and during conversation, would you mind dating a mom?
That is a lie.
What? Wait. Wait a second. What was that? I thought it would still pop up in the chat to show what it said. Wait a second. It worked. Yeah, it worked. Roots tested it before. Oh my god, I just couldn't tell what it was saying. I thought it would also have the text out. I would be able to read it too. Yeah, the layout suggested. What? Show me my screen. Thank you for the 50 bits, by the way. There's 5 different formula series? Get out of here. I'm not doing all that. What did it say? What did you type into TTS? I'm not sure what to tell her, by the way. My mouth drops. Was she asking you to date? Is she a mom now and she was asking to date? Was that what that was implying? Or does she have a friend who's a mom? Sometimes people ask that too. They're like, oh, like, would you mind dating mom? I have a friend who's a mom. Think it was a repeat previous message? 3-stream. Thank you so much. She's the mom. Okay. Wait, so it's from a previous message? And it only did it now? Oh, that's so weird. Was there like a delay? Did you try doing it before and it only worked now? Anyway, while I wait on the answers to that, because I don't know how the text-to-speech things work. Root set it all up. Maybe I want it up here. Yeah, I want it up there. That's where I want it. That's why I'm like, do I have to move to Sydney for this? I thought you can't. You're already moving to Greece. F1, F2, F3, F4, and F1 Academy, which is an F2, F3 all-woman series. There's way more Formula series than that. Are you serious? I'm not getting into all that. No, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. You can't make me. Way more Formula series than that. I'm like, no. That's too much already. I'm too far behind. I'm too far behind. I'll never catch up. You just stick to NASCAR? Oh yeah, that didn't even mention the NASCAR one. Jesus. Let's see where Chapter 5 ended. Chapter 5 ended with our main character fighting the princess lady, but she's not a princess. It's another title. Eliza. And then he won, and now he's gonna go to the front lines. So what? Let me, because you submitted a couple times now, not just even these 6 chapters. You submitted other stories and other things before. What are you looking for in critique? Because I think what I'm worried about, since you are actively writing this out as you go, we're kind of seeing bits of your first. Sorry, excuse me. Of your first rough draft as you're writing it. It's not done yet. I'm worried about giving too many critiques or edits that it actually derails you and it keeps you just from finishing it. Normally with a rough draft, the main goal is just to finish it, plot holes and all. So I don't want to give you too many advice or feedback if there's, which is what I've kind of been doing. I'm like, oh, here's a plot hole, here, consider this. The battle critiques and the pacing. Okay, that's what you want to focus on. What are you looking for specifically in the battle critiques? But otherwise, let me know, and we can go ahead and start reading. 9 pages? It's 9 pages. Maybe I'll get it all done. I'm not sure. The front lines were in disarray since Clovis had been wounded. They had lost over 200 men in the last 2 attacks. The survivors either had cracks in their swords or massive dents in their armor. Your army is in worse condition than I thought, Ren said. Hi, Mike. It's good to see you. Welcome on in. I told you already, Grimwarden, that we are losing this war on land, Eliza said, irritated. How are you doing tonight, Mike? The horn sounded as the Vampirian army had crept out of the forest and was marching towards the camp. Is that a little bit better? Yeah. Ren dismounted his horse and drew his sword, eager for the upcoming battle. Also, they have just arrived and the battle's already started. Oh my goodness. Prepare to attack the shield wall. Grimwarden, I want you to lead the main charge, and I'll lead the cavalry into a flank, Eliza commanded. They are getting right into it. Oh my goodness. It's 6 a.m. and I just finished the whole story for my BN, and is currently making assets and text for the ARG. Hey, that sounds like fantastic progress. It sounds really early for all that progress. But it sounds like a lot of progress. Hopefully you can sleep after that. I'm guessing that you did not sleep these past couple of hours if you're up and having progress already done at 6 a.m. As the Vampirian army drew closer, they closed in the ranks and began to form a shield wall. Their shields inched closer and closer with their long spears pointing towards the heavens. Ren made his way to the front of the army. He looked amongst the exhausted and worn-out soldiers. He knew they wouldn't last long in this head-on attack. Ren's gray eyes began to light up and burn a fiery yellow. He turned and gave the signal to charge. He took off sprinting, leaving the man behind. Hi, Zatra. It's good to see you. Welcome on in. The shield wall paused their advance and let the archers who were just behind them let loose a volley of arrows. Shields, Ren yelled to the men behind him. The VN is almost finished. A few backgrounds missing, but it's all done code-wise. And the music special effects department. Oh my goodness, plot-wise too. Now I'm writing some in-lore documents for the ERG and such. Oh my, Mike, that's so much progress. That's so amazing. So just a few backgrounds, and then just some of the in-lore documents. That's all you need. You were at the final stretch there. That's crazy. You should be so excited. You should probably also be really, really tired. So maybe get some sleep, and then when you wake up, then you can be really, really excited. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. Good to be in. I feel incredible tonight. And my shift at work was absolutely psychotic. Was there like somebody crazy? Was there like a Florida person in there, like a Florida man? Did somebody try kidnapping one of your coworkers? Did somebody like tear down all the shelves and try to kill somebody? Or was somebody just like stealing stuff and then you had to like make a police report and be like, yeah, some crazy person just tried to steal a bunch of stuff. It was crazy. What happened? What was the psychotic thing? You gotta give me the tea. You can't say something like that and then not give me the tea. I want to know the gossip. Nothing that interesting? Oh, okay. Maybe you're not in Florida. Everyone just came to spend their income tax checks. Oh, so you were just swamped. You guys were overcrowded. It was like, no, please give us more people. We can't handle this kind of crowd. F sleeping. I have 2 days off and you're fucking crunching my I want to finally publish the 1.0 version in March. The current build is lackluster in my opinion. Oh my god. Well, one, I hope you're nicer to yourself because it sounds like you're doing a whole lot of work. So I don't want you to say that your work or anything is lackluster. But yeah, I think March is a very reasonable deadline for how far along you are. Sometimes people try to do like crazy deadlines, like, oh yeah, I'll get this whole entire project done this week. And it's like, honey, that's not how that works at all. I like everything you said happened to you. You feel like everything I said happened to you? Oh man, what was everything I said? Did one of my coworkers almost get kidnapped? Yeah. People almost pulled down the shelves. Yeah, but we stopped them, so like it wasn't too crazy. Oh, well, no, somebody let the bratty little kids knock down whole displays and tables over an entire department store. That was crazy, but it wasn't like huge sales that were like scary and they were gonna kill people. What were the other ones I said? I don't even know anymore. I just say words. I'm just a blue person on your screen and I say words. But probably most of those things happened. I was I was on those customer service front lines. Right, how long Cryptid takes and how long it takes for the edits. Okay. The release version is already 6 months in development. I researched 0.9 in August. And it seems like I'm dragging myself at this point due to laziness. Stealing? Oh yeah, people have absolutely stolen stuff. And it's the thing too where like they steal something off the shelf and then they show up to the register and they're like, I'm returning this. I want the cash back. And I'm like, you literally stole that off the shelf right in front of my eyeballs. And filing a police report, I did have to do that. I still have stew to prepare, writing to follow through on, and a 5 a.m. shift. Oh no, don't ever say such early hours to me. That's banned. Speaking of, oh hi Missing French Fry. Any chance to start yet? Mostly just curious as all. I'm eager but not impatient. Yeah, I've open. I've looked at it. I don't know like what progress you can see me doing or not. I'm starting to read through it, and I'm gonna not make notes the first time, other than like notes to myself in my head. When I was reading, it was, most people were saying like, yeah, every time you do a critique, you kind of read it twice. The first time you're just reading it as a reader to get like those gut reactions and everything. And then the second time, then you have to reread it all, and then you're actually making the notes and balancing everything. So I'm like, okay, whew, gotta pace myself. I'm gonna read this whole book twice. I'm not used to doing that back to back. You want to rant about the last time? Oh, about the embroidery machine thief? Yeah, I did have to file a police report for that. Oh my god. Knowing me, I would have been sarcastic until they realized I saw them steal. I was alone at the store, and it was a group of them, and they were like all adults, and I was like, if they like did anything to me, no one was gonna check on me for hours, you know what I mean? Like, they could have left a body in that store, no one would have been there to check for hours. So you had to do this entire thing of like, you give them the gift card, but then you had to call corporate and be like, hey, it's this number on the gift card, but they absolutely just stole it. So you had to like deactivate this gift card because like it wasn't really their money. And they're like, okay. And so then they make the gift card not work, so they never actually got the money. And then they they actually went around to different stores trying to get the gift card to work. And like, most people who work at the store know that when that happens, you either give them the corporate phone number. Corporate will let them know, because corporate's safe on the other end of the phone, so they can't like hurt corporate people. But some newbie at one of the stores looked up my number on the receipt that had the gift card and said, oh, it must have been something wrong this particular person did. Here's her worker number. Go back to that store and see what she did wrong. Like, go back to the blue cryptid that was at the store and tell her she did something wrong and get her to fix the thing. So they ratted me out, and so then this group of people came back really angry, thinking I hadn't given them the money. Which, to be fair, I had. I called corporate and was like, hey, they absolutely just stole this off the shelves in front of me. Like, they did not actually return this. Like, don't make the gift card work. But then they were coming back, and it's the fear again, right? Of like, oh no, please, this is Florida. Don't come armed and loaded. I wasn't making enough money to die this way, please. I don't want to die on a customer service budget from a customer who lost their shit. This isn't the way I want to get murdered. I know I'll probably get murdered, but this isn't the way I want to go. And so my manager actually had to like cover for me and like go to the store that day and like had to tell the other store, hey, train your employees. They should not have pinned this on the little baby cryptid employee. They had to give the corporate phone number because these people were stealing. That's why the gift card didn't work. Like, how fucking wild would it be to put the whole visual novel into story submission sections? People have done that kind of stuff before. I've read other people's like visual novel scripts. I'm not sure you can put the whole game. Like, I might not play the game itself, but if you have like the script, I'll read the script. But yeah, so what, to answer your question, I wasn't gonna be sarcastic. Then, if I had other employees who could have at least, you know, found my body at the time, I probably would have been sarcastic. But I'm like, oh no, this isn't. Not today. Not today. I'm trying to figure out where it fits. It's mostly Promise Bearing mix. It's a 7-year-old early on. But yeah, so crazy retail experiences. The more you work in retail, the more crazy shit you see. Shields, Ren yelled to the men behind him. The arrows fell short of the main army as they were targeted at Ren. Okay. He blocked and dodged what he could. He took off sprinting. So he is sprinting ahead of the army. Okay. For some reason earlier I was like, was he on a horse? But he's not. He's just manually, physically sprinting because he's super powered. He's a Grim Warden. He blocked and dodged what he could, seeing that the arrows did stop him but slowed him down. Wait, there's something funny with the sentence here. The shield wall dropped their spears and continued to advance. Ren didn't slow his pace and collided with the shield wall. He knocked over 2 of the soldiers. Blah, 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 blah. We had a similar situation when I was working my first time as a waiter, and somebody tried to return a dish half-eaten, saying it was too salty. Imagine Guy's face when I suggested him eating at McDonald's next time if he wants to post shit like that. Right? Oh my goodness. We knocked over 2 of the soldiers. A couple of pikemen took a jab at Ren. He rolled out the way, letting them hit the men beneath him. Okay, one of the men holding a shield quickly turned his attention to Ren. He stabbed Ren in the side before Ren could get his head around. The rest of the Iron Helm army had hit the shield wall. He's made her super confident and comfortable with herself again. He's made her super confident and comfortable with herself again. That's a good sign. With the men distracted, Ren took a sword and disemboweled the man. Ren picked up a spear and started to make quick work of the soldiers behind the shield wall. He impaled one of the pikemen through the chest before driving the spear into another man. He dodged another one's attack. Ren grabbed the spear and lopped off the man's hands. He was hit by an arrow in the shoulder as he plunged his sword into the man's neck. The archer dropped his bow and started to draw his sword. Before he could get the sword out of the scabbard, a spear pinned the man into the ground. He cried out in agony as he reached up for the shaft of the spear. The sound of horses thudding against the earth, echoing between the clashing of metal. That one's a funny sentence too. That one's not quite right. Eliza's charge was making their way towards the battlefield. The cavalry unit crashed into the shield wall. The first 2 cavalrymen, horses, went down as they fell into the range of the pikemen. While the rest of the unit trampled anyone who still remained in the way, Eliza managed to take out 3 of the pikemen before an archer's arrow took her off her horse. Seeing her go down, Ren quickly grabbed another spear and threw it at the archer in retaliation. The spear caved in the archer's head as it went straight through. My question here, it almost seems... Because we typically pretty closely follow Ren, where the little camera over Ren's shoulder. I'm wondering if here we're seeing things we're not supposed to. I'm wondering how plausible it is that he sees this in a battle, in a war. That he sees what's happening to Eliza. He ran to Eliza to check on her condition. The arrow had hit her armor and shattered. The arrowhead had penetrated through, but it didn't go deep enough to do any real harm. "You, get her back to the camp," Ren said to one of the cavalrymen as he just finished killing a soldier. The shield wall had mostly fallen, and what little of the Vampirian soldiers that remained stayed in the fight. How did they... It seemed like they were so unlikely to win against the Vampirians, but now it seems like the Vampirians are losing. Ren knew the battle had gone on for too long for the Ironhelm troops. He began to look among the tree line for any semblance of a commander. He squinted his eyes to see 2 men on horseback watching the battle. One of them was an older man with a gray and black beard. Ren searched for a spear in the pile of bodies that lay beneath his feet. As he went for a spear, an archer shot him in the back. "Motherfucker," Ren yelled. "Is that a Grim Warden, sir?" Sindre asked. "Indeed it is. I see Clovis has gotten desperate enough to hire a Grim Warden." Sindre gave the signal for the men to retreat. "Let them have this victory. Silmo knew that 1 Grim Warden isn't enough," Cassian said. Did we switch perspective here? Is this the 2 people that he was just looking at? We suddenly switched where we were. Frightened by Ren, the young archer dropped his bow and tried to run. The boy had tripped over the corpse of a horse. He begged for mercy in his native tongue. He was only a few years younger than Ren. Ren stooped down, planting his sword into the ground. "My tootlock is rusty. Move, fuck it. Kid, run and go home," Ren said, standing back up. Okay, it is a little tricksy suddenly switching perspectives like this, especially just for not even a full 2 paragraphs, where it just suddenly switches. It's suddenly in the middle here. Normally when we're switching perspectives, it's a little bit easier if it's like between chapters, or if it's at least a whole entire other section. This was just kind of in the middle right here. That reads a little bit clunky. A horn blared from the forest, calling for the remaining Vampirian soldiers to retreat. Ren looked back into the forest, searching for their commander. The man and his lieutenant were gone from the forest. The men cheered, as this was their first big win in a while. Ren planted the spear into the ground and unsheathed his sword before helping any wounded he could. Hi, Pee-Pee. Why do you guys like Destiny? Oh my goodness, wait a second. I don't even have a drinky at all. Oh my goodness. Are you guys okay to wait while I grab a drink of water? Are you guys gonna be good? Everyone be good for a second. I have to go get water. That way I can hydrate or hydrate. Wait, is there another hydrate or dihydrate? What happened here? What? Is that 3 hydrate or dihydrates? Oh my goodness, you guys have all been misbehaving raccoons. Let me turn on the lights again. Okay. Here's some sippies. Hold on. Aaron was the misbehaving raccoon here. You even said, no, we're gonna be bad. Out of shotgun the bottle redeem? No. 3 kickstand redeem. No. Oh, thank you for the posture check. All my raccoons, if you guys are being shrimps, if your bine's all shrimped up, don't do that. Unshrimp your back, check your neck, move it back and forth. Make sure everything's not too wonky with your bones. Stretch all your bones. I'm getting there. Still 2 sippies behind here. Stretch all your bones. If you've stolen another skeleton's bones, go ahead and fix their bones too. Make sure your pet skeletons have their bones all stretched out. Whatever you need, whatever bones you have in the household, all those bones should be stretched. Stop. Okay, hold on. There's still 2 more sippies. Here's a second. Oh, this is a better camera angle. I feel like the model's not glitching out as much. That's good. Here's a third. Okay. Helping any wounded he could. Let's see. The men cheered Ren's name as they walked back to camp. Do they even know his name yet? Eliza stood in wait with extra hands for the men to return with the wounded. Grim Warden, you have Eliza said, pointing to the back of her shoulder. Ren turned his head to see an arrow protruding from his left shoulder. Shoulder. He broke the arrow in half and pulled the remnant from his shoulder. Thanks, Baroness, Ren said, heading towards his tent. My title isn't a Baroness, Eliza said. My name isn't Grim Warden, Ren yelled back. Once Ren entered his tent, he threw off his armor and his blood-soaked shirt. As the air hit his wounds, he grimaced in pain. The wounds from the arrow were already starting to heal, but the stab wound would need to be bandaged. You have a lot of scars for someone who just fought their first battle, Eliza said from the entrance of the tent. Hi, it's good to see you. Welcome on in. All my raccoons are telling me to focus as if they're not the main ones who distract me. Can you believe this? We heal faster than regular people, so most of the time we'll train with real weapons. The scar here came from my older sister after I threw sand in her eyes, Ren said, pointing to the scar himself. How dare those raccoons? Shanny Maddie! You dare betray me? distract them with trash. All the trash has to go to Roots first. All the raccoons have to give their payout to Roots. Roots gets all the trash. You guys watch yourselves, the hydrator dihydrate. I'll make them 1 million Roots coins. I'll do it. There's the sippy. All my raccoons turn against me. This is so unfair. Sister, I thought Princess Ilya only had one child, Eliza said. She did, unless I aren't bound by blood. We both were trained by the same warden, Ren said, tying the bandage around him. I'll start drinking too. Jenny Maddie, don't say that. You're gonna just make them do it more. That's basically a 2-for-1 deal. I used to mod for a guy who we made him drink so much he peed like 4 times in an hour. Then he got smart and started pretending to drink on Gale. I'm too honest. I feel too bad about lying about that. All these sippies are genuine sippies so far. That's crazy though. Get some rest. We plan on pushing further towards their camp, Eliza said. The next morning things seemed somber in the Iron Helm camp. The rest of the dead had been collected from the battlefield and set aside for burial in the mass grave. Eliza stood in the war room studying a map while she waited for reports to come in. Oh wait. Oh, we can't make her so Maddie can take the fault. Chatty fucker. See, that's exactly what it'll be like. Oh, we get this boat. Oh, thank you, Probes. And hey, welcome to Cryptid Cult. I hope you like hanging out here. My lady, we had the total count from the battle. 172 men were wounded. 14 didn't make it through the night. That brings the total number of casualties up to 86 male. Father Broderick, there we go, had already started working on the burial procession. Has already started. Sir Edmund reported. I think one of the things... my name is... Oh, it's Brubs. Oh, okay, hello. Use my blunder of a title as a joke between them. I like that. I think it'd be cute. I think it's kind of similar to like when somebody meets somebody first call like the person like princess or something as like a derogatory term, and then over time it like is actually like, oh no, like I'll do anything for you, princess, right? Like it can become a sweet thing over time. That's what a non-Brubs would say. I'm keeping an eye out on you, Brubs. Is it a traitor? Is it an imposter? They're not even like just a generic Brubs. They're Brubs 2132. What did you do to the other 2,131 Brubs? Huh? Where are they? What did you do to them? I'm kidding. But we're keeping an eye on you. So I think one of my first questions here with the battle, because you did want feedback on the battle. First of all, for the pacing, this is significantly longer here. Let's see, how long is this? We have here to here to here. You've gone from just having fight scenes take like 1 or 2 paragraphs, or sometimes even just half a paragraph. Now we're getting into the fact of like this is about a page and a half altogether. It's most of this page, a little over half of this page, so it's about a page and a half. That's a huge improvement. Chatty, what do you keep doing to the automod? I have to keep allowing your stuff to go through. And hi, Lambda. That's the clone number assigned to them at birth. I'm calling it now. Ready to go hang with your lesbian crush. I don't want the throne. Yeah, Automat has declared war. I don't know what, it's like 90% of the time it's you. That's really funny. But I believe what was asked me earlier for pacing. So this is the best pacing for your fight scenes that have happened so far. That's a huge accomplishment to do. I still think this was still pretty fast. This isn't just a generic, like, oh, I'm gonna go in there and fight some people, right? This is a battle. This was a battle. This was like a battle in a war. This is significantly longer than some of the other fights that have been happening. Got done watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind. One of your favorite movies? Oh. You still sound like a baby at the ending? I'll keep it away from me. I don't need to be sad. Destiny Order 100 nukes. Literally chatting about it. Oh my god, it was... What was that Destiny thinking? Why was she doing that? Oh my god. Destiny's been such a hoe all day. I hate her. So yeah, the pacing improved a lot. I think if you're normal, like not normal, like the fight scenes where it's just Ren and like a couple other people, like all the fights that we've had with Ren so far, where this is kind of what we're looking at. Like a fight scene can be maybe not a full page and a half, but at least like a page, right? That's a pretty good ball mark to kind of reach for. Is that it? Hallmark? Ballpark? That's it. Ballpark range to go for. Imagine someone names a character Destiny. No. Where are we in a queue? I want to read some stuff too. There's a Discord. Are you asking where the queue is? There's a Discord. In the Cryptid Roots Discord, there's a section called Story Submissions. And people put their stuff there for me to read here on stream and give them feedback and critique. What here is specifically looking in Chapter 6 for their critique on their battle, on the fight scenes, and the overall pacing. Their pacing has improved a lot. This is incredible in comparison to like even Chapter 1 or 2 with some of the fight scenes here. Ooh, it might be a good year. New skin joint 7. I don't know what those words are. Must know. Yeah, she was just being the Dusty was being a sassy bitch about that. I was like, oh my god. It's an alien movie and it makes me cry, but it's not because of aliens. It's got this general theme about wonder and discovery and finding your purpose in life. Oh, that sounds nice. I don't trust you. You said it cried. Cute. I want to read some stuff too. Destiny is a queen. No, Destiny's the opposite of that. She's a traitor. She's a spy. And she can't even do her job well. I just want her to play tunes and tell me what time it is. And sometimes she can't even do that. It's so unfair. I'm the victim here. I know I sound really angry at her all the time, but it's deserved. Hydrate. Fine, here's your sippy. That was a rage sippy. That sippy was drink for destiny, never. I'm never doing anything for that whore. Never. I couldn't be bothered. The only thing I'll ever do to her in the future is unplug her. I swear. But yeah, so the pacing here is definitely improved. I think for something as big and epic as a battle in an army, this is so much bigger and longer and more massive than the other fights we've been doing before. So maybe this one should have even been longer. The others ahead of me aren't here, but it's Solaris the Forgotten Prince. Oh, so were they asking which one it was in the queue? I'm sorry. I should have answered that better. So that's my idea about the pacing. Huge improvement, but for the scale of this battle, I think it should be even more. But if we were looking at this type of stuff for the other fights, this would have been perfect, if even not too much, right? This would have been just right for the other. Thanks. You want to read it yourself in some time today? Okay. Where was I? Hold on. Get some rest. We plan on pushing further towards their camp, Eliza said. Oh yeah, we had the... How are we doing on supplies, Captain? Eliza said. Rations are beginning to dwindle. At most we have at least 3 weeks worth of food left, Sir Edmund said. We can just wait. Oh my god, did you guys hear my throat squeak like that? That was horrible. I'm currently clearing up my entry for the submission. I hate how my plot is different in code and in the doc. Because I pushed any edits through code. Dumbass. says. Oh, well, first of all, don't ever call yourself bad names. You're working on a very cool project, and it sounds pretty hard and complicated. So 1, you're not a dumbass. But 2, that sounds very cool. So you're currently clearing up my entry for the submission. Very, very cool. So we'll be able to read your stuff soon. That'll be exciting. Oh, can you guys hear stuff in the background? Bear's being let out, and when he comes back in, Luna's always right by the door. I don't know why it happens every time. It's just gonna be right by the door, and Bear's just gonna walk over her and piss her off. So if you guys hear a meow that's like angry and indignant a little bit, it's Luna. Hi friends, hope stream is going well. It is. Thank you so much, Charlie. It's good to see you. Right now we're actually reading a submission from What16 in chat, so this is exciting. We're reading chapter 6. We can just raid their camp for supplies, Ren interrupted. That's me being able to say that now without my voice cracking. We haven't found their camp yet. If we did, all our focus would have been on killing Cassian. The scouts have been working tirelessly to find it. They are located somewhere in the Albert Heron Forest, as he said. How can you hide an army? A full army? Normally if you have like a smaller band, you can hide a band of people. A full army? What about the Taluk soldiers? Wouldn't they have cavalry units? Ren asked. Cell swords, most likely, sir. Sir Edmund responded. So, okay, so they're like mercenaries. From the forest, the sound of several horns bellowed out through the trees. A few men carrying white flags rode up from the forest, while the rest sat at the tree line watching. So it says while the rest, I'm not sure how many that is. Is it the full cavalry unit? Is it just some people? You've got some editing work, so I'll be lurking. Good job for you, Charlie, for actually doing the editing work. I'll be fully honest, I don't know if I updated the Weave page. I did not work on my 3 Witches story today or yesterday. Oh my goodness, too much stuff happening the last 2 days. I'm hoping to, once work settles down a bit, I want to get back into it. Because I feel like I'm getting close to the point where it's like, okay, once everything's finalized, once I finally settled on that variation of the script, because we went from the full animation to a webcomic to now I'm things are in the works. I'm planning things. I'm figuring things out. Once it's done, then I would really like to save up money and hire some concept artists to draw at least some of the witches and the main character. There's other characters in it, but at least just for general concept art, I'd like to get the 3 witches and the hero done. I think it will be good. I'm getting excited. I wish to speak to your commander. I bring a message from Jarl Cassian. Okay, that's who Cassian is. The knight said. Eliza, Ren, and Edmund exited the war tent to see the 3 knights enter the camp. I am Sir Lycos. Jarl Cassian wishes to end this skirmish amicably. If you're willing to surrender, you and your family will be spared, Lady Eliza, Sir Lycos said smugly. You're a tall fucker, Ren quipped. That's not the right Yor. That's the right Yor. You're the Grim Warden Sir Sindris spoke of. You're younger than I expected. You're still green, boy, Lycos said, laughing. Enough. Tell your Jarl this will end with his head on a pike. So leave while you still have peaceful intentions, Eliza said. Reach a 7-stream streak? Oh my goodness, thank you so much for hanging around with me for so long. Bitch, Lycos said, spitting at Eliza's feet before leaving. Ren's eyes flashed yellow as he gritted his teeth in anger. He wanted to take Lycos' head off, but that would be too easy for a disgrace like him. For a disgrace like him. I'm wondering, because when you're mentioning 2 different people with the same gender tag in a sentence, in this case it's Ren and Lycos, both are he, him, it could originally be misread as like, for a disgrace like him talking about Ren. That's not what you're saying, I realized that. For a disgrace like him, meaning Lycos. But to clarify that, I wonder if Lycos is one of the Taluk, or whatever, like one of these other Jarl Cassian's people, or a Taluk, or whatever the fantasy race they are. I wonder if you specify that he wanted to take Lyco's head off, but that would be too easy for a Talok like him, so that would clarify which one you're talking about. Ren, after the funeral, take a small force and track them to their camp. They're going to be watching us for a while before heading back, Eliza commanded. As Father Broderick prayed, Ren stood vigilant, watching the forest for any wandering eyes. His eyes glowed brighter as he looked deeper into the forest. They're gone, Ren whispered to Eliza. Go, she whispered back. So yeah, Ren's being both spy and he's, where was he? To lead the main charge. So he's being the main lead charge person. Lycos is Cassian's nephew. Okay. I don't know what they're called, what that group is called. So he's being spy and fighter, and he's leading the charge. He's kind of like a general, too. He's doing a lot of stuff, besides just being the bestest, most epic fighter. That I'm wondering, is it reasonable to say, because Ren was just learning how to fight as a Grim Warden. I'm not sure if he was learning, like, battle tactics, how to lead people. And I think in this scene, you're trying to make him really come across as, like, this epic leader that won against the odds. Where, in reality, he just killed more people than normal, than the other soldiers did. That's not quite enough to turn the tides. And I can't quite see how he was this, like, epic leader. He just ran ahead of them and fought, compared to, like, actually leading people. So I'm wondering, do you want him just to be a really epic fighter? So he could be, like, a solo fighter in the army. He could be the spy. He could be this little rogue-like person, this epic solo fighter. But I wonder if having him in this leader position and then not really having him lead, I'm wondering if that's getting conflicting messages here about what type of fighter Ren's supposed to be. Hi, Echoes. It's good to see you. Let's see. You heading to bed, Mama Cryptid? Okay, good night. You taking your poodle with you? So where was it? So he's not gonna go sneak off. Ren and 10 men grabbed their horses and headed off into the forest. Ren sniffed the air, searching for Lyco's scent. The scent was faint as they had left a while ago. He spurred his horse and chased after the scent. The horses furiously galloped through the forest. As the wind changed, the scent grew stronger, leading Ren out of the forest and back into the lush coral plains. As the clouds began to roll in, a foul smell grazed Ren's nose. This foul smell forced him off his horse and down to his knees. Between the coughing and gagging, "fuck me" were the only words he could manage to get out. So the clouds began to roll in. Okay. "Is everything okay, sir?" a knight asked. Ren tried to take a breath before the vomit erupted from his body. "They're in a nearby village. They killed the villagers. Burned their bodies. We go on foot from here," Ren said, trying to catch his breath. "A tiny personal request?" Hold on. He's a little bit of both. He was given leadership training. Oh, was he given that as like a Grim Warden? Because the Grim Wardens are kind of like solo mercenaries-esque, right? They're kind of your version of like their Witcher-esque, right? I'm kind of giving them like they're kind of like the Witchers. So I'm wondering, when did he get military training, military leadership training, and then 2, having the training and then actually being good at it your very first time are different things. And he's saying very basic things. He's saying like, oh, we should steal their supplies. I'm going to go ahead of everyone else and fight everybody and just kill real good. I'm not quite seeing, like, it's supposed to be implied he did it really, really good. But as a reader, I'm not actually sure how he did it really, really good. You know what I mean? Can you shake up your music profile a bit, your song list specifically? Your playlist has officially taken up a permanent residence in my head. Yeah, it's the witchy lo-fi beats. While it's impressive, it's starting to feel less like a catchy tune and more like gum that just won't leave the bottom of my shoe. Variety might save us both. The reason why I had it the same was because it was supposed to be for when you start writing and you do the exact same thing, it gets into your brain like, oh yeah, when I hear this, I'm supposed to write. When I hear this, I'm supposed to read. It's the song that specifically like locks you in. But yeah, if people want to change it up, I don't mind it. I'm not writing the past few months. I was writing mostly November. Does anyone have any new requests? Does anyone want the ghost lo-fi again? We could do ghost lo-fi. Maybe the point is he's a great leader because he leads the charge rather than being behind lines discussing tactics and not doing any fighting. That is... I'm not sure how well that worked historically. Like, kind of like water torture. Oh, I didn't mean to do like water torture. I was just over here having my tunes on. Let's see. Do you want ghost lo-fi again? It might have ads. You guys might hear the ads.
When you're struggling to focus.
Hold on.
And this is your brain. When you're...
There we go. I'll have it on mute until I can skip the ads. There we go. Brains. Let's see here. This would be bad. They weren't fighting the full army, so it helps him get by. But he is a crappy leader in the long run. Okay. I mean, at a point, being realistic is boring in my opinion. I wasn't saying like, oh yeah, be absolutely realistic. I was just saying he showed up 5 minutes before the battle started. Eliza then tells him to lead a section. I don't even think that section knows they have to follow him yet. But they all follow him. They all run. He leaves them behind. And he's just such a fantastic leader because he's killing more people than the average man because he's a Grim Warden. They all clash. He doesn't give them any further orders once they are fighting. Until he grabs a random person to help Eliza get back. And then the fight's over. That's it. So I'm just like, where was he actually leading? That's why I'm like, I'm not saying like, oh, you have to be super realistic about everything. I'm just like, to a reader who's reading the scene, I'm wondering if they would have the same parts of me like that. And then everyone's cheering for Ren afterwards. They're chanting his name, and I'm like, I don't even know if they know his name. It feels like they've only known him for an hour, as like the one dude who charged ahead of them, and they had to follow after him and die. I don't know if they ever learned his name. They might know his face, but they don't know his name. Oh, Gert. Can the zombie get stoned? Someone must have tried. Oh, Gert. That's why she normally gives him the lead on the head-on assault, because he's just willing to charge ahead. Yeah, I'm wondering if trying to make your character so overpowered and so cool and so epic, he started being this master swordsman at like 3 or 5, I forget the age. He left to be a Grim Warden training for all these years. He's left directly after he finished training at 18. It's reasonable that he's better than all the other human fighters like Eliza and all these other knights he's running into. This seems to have transitions like the Red Badge of Courage. I have no idea what that reference is. But making him so he's the best fighter and this cool warden and this awesome leader, and he wins his first battle he ever led the charge on. All these different things, and now he's doing the secret stealth mission. I'm like, this is a lot of stuff. Are you making your character too OP? You know what I mean? That's what I was kind of trying to get at, I think. Where was I? Because the Grim Wardens are kind of like witches, so they're already kind of a little bit OP, right? They're very strong. Is he even the main character? Yeah, he's Ren. Ren's the main character. At least for this series, Ren's the main character. So we go on foot from here, Ren said, trying to catch his breath. You are paying attention. They approached the village and the smell of the charred bodies engulfed them. The smell rattled their stomachs, but they stayed silent. Quietly, Ren gave the knights their orders. A team of 3 was to look for any supplies, while another team of 3 looked for any survivors. The remaining knights were to kill anyone who lingered. Ren's goal was to get to Lycos. Are the people who are the native town residents and the Lycos' people, are they noticeably different? It was a classic war novel, turn of the century, last century. Oh, okay. So it has transitions like that? Okay. Maybe it's a stylistic choice I'm not picking up on. Ren snuck around to the side of the village, coming across a small farm. The sight he came across only infuriated him. Lycos and his men had hanged the farmer's wife and children before they cut his tongue out and gouged his eyes. Farmer's wife and children. That's his tongue, gouged his eyes out. How can he tell before? As Ren quietly walked through the village, one of the knights had drunkenly stumbled out of the tavern and started to take a piss. Knights and villagers? So it's just based off clothing, basically. If someone's wearing knight clothes, you kill them. If someone doesn't look like they're wearing knight clothes, you let them live. Okay. Ren waited for him to finish before he grabbed him. He stabbed the man in the side before putting the blade to his throat. "Where's Lycos?" he asked. Panicked. He's in the town hall," the man said. Ren sliced his throat open and threw him into the mud. He took the man's sword and barred the tavern's door. The knights inside continued their drunken song, ignorant to the locked door. Ren signaled to 2 of the knights with them to burn the tavern. As screams and coughs illuminated from the tavern, Lycos, Lycos, show yourself, coward," Ren shouted as he walked towards the hall. Okay, the tavern's burning down, but he's in the town hall. Okay. As Ren shouted as he walked towards the hall. Lycos walked out the hall with his sword drawn, ready for the duel. Ren rushed Lycos. Their swords clashed and clashed. Neither man wasted a breath or strike. Lycos grabbed Ren's sword, cutting his hand open, giving him the opportunity to elbow Ren in the face. Guessing with the opposite arm. Ren's nose oozed blood as he staggered backwards. The rain began to pour down on them as the muffled screams from the tavern began to be drowned out by the loud roar of thunder. Loud roar of thunder. There we go. I can speak. Ren swung his sword towards Lycos' neck. Lycos dodged the attack and used the pommel to hit Ren in his side. The attack dropped Ren to a knee. Lycos had hit Ren in the stab wound that was still healing. A huge smirk edged across Lycos' face. The best they could do was a fucking green Grim Warden. "You were so spry in the safety of the camp," Lycos smugly said. Lycos kicked Ren, knocking him over. Lycos went for the killing blow. Ren rolled out of the way. Ren quickly got up and drew his dagger. Why am I struggling with words today? Oh my goodness. Ren charged Lycos again. Lycos slashed his sword, grazing Ren's shoulder. Ren tackled Lycos to the ground. They struggled in the mud, both men holding each other's blades at bay. Lycos gritted his teeth at the pain coming from his hand. With no other option left, Ren began to headbutt Lycos. Bringing up his hand, Ren stabbed Lycos twice in the gap between his chest plate and underarm. Lycos in pain managed to flip Ren off of him. Stumbling to his feet, Ren let out a breathless laugh. "Not bad for a Green Warden," Ren said, spitting out blood. Lycos staggered to his feet. Blood cascaded from the gash on his forehead. He grunted as he pulled the dagger out from his side. "Tell me, Grim Warden, the Baron's daughter, is she a good fuck?" Lycos jokingly asked while wiping the blood from his face. When Ren, I keep saying when, it's not, it's Ren. Jesus Christ. Ren grabbed his sword from off the ground. He charged at him again. Lycos swiped his sword at Ren. Ren ducked the swipe, stabbing Lycos through the knee. The momentum from the attack caused both of them to fall down. Ren swayed as he stood up, covered in mud and blood. "What are you doing, Luna Tuna Fish?" it's just your babies. It's your babies. She's been doing so good. She hasn't really been hissing or spitting or fighting them at all. She's doing so good with her babies. We're gonna start introducing her to the last 2 cats soon. Oh my god, just probably one of them at first. Ren swayed as he stood up covered in mud and blood. He grabbed the hilt of the sword that protruded from Lycos's knee. He pulled on the sword, slicing further up Lycos's leg. I have kitty cats? I have too many kitty cats. Yes, I have a lot of kitty cats. Oh my goodness, Moth in the Archive? Hello, hello. I'm gonna go ahead because they might be stuck in ads. Welcome, Raiders. Yes, yes. Hello, hello. Welcome on in. I hope you guys have fun here. Did you guys have a good stream? What were you guys streaming about? What was happening? Feel free to let me know. But otherwise, have fun. I like the, Moth in the Archive. Sounds super cute. Is it Makoken? Hello, hello. I wonder if they have a raid call. There's so many other streamers, they have like fancy raid calls and stuff. And I'm like, ooh, that always looks so cool. I have to think of one for us soon. I must go to dinner, but I hope you have a great stream. Thank you. I almost typed your name in as Cryptid Editor. Have a wonderful night, Moth in the Archive, and thank you so much for the raid. Go enjoy your dinner and have a good night. We're reading and discussing stories for the prompt, What Have I Become? Oh, that sounds very edgy and cool. I grew up in high school and stuff with like a lot of like the emo kids and all the scene alt kids. Like I think every single writer I knew from my teen years who was still like kind of emo would have loved that prompt. Would have made such an edgy thing based off of it. Hold on. Alexa, turn off entry light. Thank you, she listens. But welcome on in, Raiders. I hope this is all comfy and cozy for you. Right now, I'm actually reading submissions from our little raccoons in chat. This one is from What16 in chat. This is chapter 6 of a rough draft of a story they're working on. And I read along with it, and I give critique and feedback based on what they're looking at. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, then welcome on in. Right now, we're in the middle of a cool fight scene. Unless you won't be able to stay long. Oh my goodness, did you just get in? Did you guys get? I was asking for your name earlier. I'm like, oh, Death says that is that the top of the list. Says calling for you
Think
earlier.
Verizon is expensive?
Ah!
Think again. Anyone
Get rid
can
of
bring
these
their
ads.
AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today, and we'll give you a
Skip ads. See, I think this is why I like the Witch Lo-Fi better. It didn't have ads. Here you have Amita stream today. Oh, I don't know what Amita stream is, but that sounds cool. That reminds me, originally I wanted my liminal story to be just about exploring weird stuff, but I have a idea for a theme now. Oh, that sounds cool. Let's see here. I think we're about to finish the fight scene. Lyco screamed out in agonizing pain as the sword tore through flesh and bone. Sir, we found a storage set and 2 young kids who survived the massacre, the knight reported. Oh, it's just the acronym for A Moth in the Archive. Oh, okay. How cool though that there's a whole entire little acronym for them. That sounds so fancy. Good. Take the kids and whatever supplies you can back to camp. I'll handle things here, Ren commanded, trying to catch his breath. Ren removed the sword from the bone in Lycos's leg, and sheathed his sword and picked up his dagger. I'll grant you mercy if you tell me where Cassian is holding up, Ren said. Fuck you, Lycos mumbled. Fuck you. Hearing this, Ren grabbed him by his other leg and began to drag him to the town hall. Ren slammed the door shut. He tortured Lycos throughout the night until his heart finally gave out. There is the fight scene, the pacing is better. I think now that he's dead. And this is the end of the fight scene. So the fight scene, this is more of what I was talking about, like the fight scene for here. This is the musical pace. The pacing is better. So this fight scene with Lycos is... it's like roughly here. It's about a page-ish. So I think that's one of your longest fight scenes for just Ren versus like one other opponent. That pacing is really good. Yeah, but I was gonna say, so the pacing is better, but a lot of the stuff is kind of being told to us. I think I've mentioned it before. You're kind of writing things out as if it was a movie screen, like you're watching a show, and you're just saying what happens that you see on the screen. He grabbed his sword. He charged. Ren ducked. He swayed. Ren removed the sword from the bone. Removed the sword from the bone, and like it's just telling us stuff. His attention, maybe vary the prose a little bit, use more short sentences. It's kind of lulling. Yeah, so that's... The pacing is better, but I wonder if we can have some more show versus tell, a little bit less of just somebody writing it out like it was a scene in their head, and actually more like immersing us into the scene. And then we also have some of the stuff here, like this one was very just telling versus showing. He just tortured Lycos throughout the night until his heart finally gave up, but you're not actually showing the torture. So it's kind of bad. What? I know I changed the lo-fi vibes for everybody, but there we go, that's a little bit better. This is still ghost lo-fi, it's just at least a spot where there's more music. I'm not in love with the ghost lo-fi. I like my witchy lo-fi better. Sorry, I'm stretching up, my model's acting weird. Hi Zone, it's good to see you. So pacing is better, but yeah, I think kind of even what Echo's saying and what I'm trying to explain here too, I wonder if there's a more immersive way for us to now be in these fight scenes. If we can have more showing versus telling, some variations of stuff, because that's the only thing I think really keeping us now from being in these fight scenes with Ren. How far are we? We have... This is the start of 7. I will leave it here, because that leaves us 7, 8, 9. That gives us 3 pages for the next time we do you. And then we still have another chapter to read. But I want to make sure that we're not catching up too quickly to you, that you still have time to write. But yeah, you were asking for pacing and fight scenes. And one, I think I said in both fight scenes, we had 2 fight scenes so far. The big battle with the 2 armies, and now this one against Lycos. The pacing is huge. You were writing just 1 or 2 paragraphs before. Now we're having like full pages. That is a huge... The third. We had the fight, we had the battle, and we had the fight with Lycos. I've not been paying attention to the streams, been letting them run in the background because my mother found a notebook of my grade school stories from like the 98 to 99 that I thought lost forever. I have been typing them into the computer to preserve them. Oh, what a fun... That's amazing. That's such a cool thing. Yeah, I'm never like... One, I don't want you to like feel bad about it or anything. I was just letting you know, because before I think you're wondering like, oh wait, when has Cryptid read my story? And I'm letting you know like, oh yeah, I'm just waiting on you. Next time you're in, I'll try to get you in. So it's not like I'm blaming you or anything. I was just like, oh yeah, I was calling for you, don't you worry. But that's an amazing find, and I'm so glad that you're preserving them. That's going to be something you can treasure for years and years and years to come. I'm so happy that your mom was able to find them. So what you're saying, this was the 3rd fight scene? This is the one with Lycos. That's just them talking. Anyone tapping out for TV with the family? Oh, tapping out. If you have a good stream, have a wonderful night, Deshead. Have fun with your family. Oh, you were answering Echo? Oh, okay, wait. Is this 3rd person or 3rd person limited? I think that's the struggle here, because generally, it is very much we are following behind Ren. That's why I would almost say it's like 3rd person limited. We are almost entirely contained to like being over Ren's shoulder for 90% of it, right? And then suddenly it will shift. It will have like a random paragraph or 2 like this, where then it's not following behind Ren, and then it goes right back to following behind Ren again. That's why I'm like, it's a little bit wonky. I'm not sure if I think most of the time you're trying to do 3rd person limited, and then there's like these little tripped ups, like it's a TV show, like it's a movie, where the camera would then pan over to some other characters having a quick little dialogue scene. But I'm not sure, it's not quite working for me here. It's not quite, it's a little wonky. I think maybe commit more to being third person limited to Ren, and then when you switch point of views, either do it in a separate scene or a separate chapter if you need them. But generally, I think we can just stay right behind Ren. We already are for 90% of it, right? If not 95% of it. I don't think we need the other people's point of view sometimes. Anyway, I hope that helps. Again, this is a rough draft. You're still working on it actively. I don't want to give you too many things that like hinder you in the way of actually just getting the draft done. I'm almost wondering if like suggesting to you like just finish your draft. I'm worried about getting too much critique during the writing progress would hinder the writing itself. I'm wondering if the best advice is just finish your draft here. You're already on chapter 7 here. Like just whatever amount of chapters you think it needs, finish it, and then sit back, take some time with it, and then get critique from it and improve it. That's kind of what most writers do. They do that full rough draft, sit with it, they self-edit it, they fix up anything they can find, and then it goes for critique. If normal people just submit shorter stuff and I'm like, okay, yeah, like let me critique it, you're doing the work of doing this very epic project, and I would hate to derail you from doing the epic project. You have most of the draft done. You just have to fill things in to help the pacing. Okay. And I'm glad you're taking the pacing seriously. It's definitely showing. This is one of the biggest improvements I've seen in your pacing issues so far. Right now we're having scenes that last full pages, where I think all the way back in chapter 1, right, we weren't having that. Some scenes were just a paragraph or two. So this is huge. Facade. Inside was struck, his knees buckled. Variants can make a difference. Yeah, that's a good example. I try not to rewrite people. Sometimes I'll do suggestions. It's a hard thing to balance. Do people want things rewritten for them as examples? Is that rude? I have no idea. I'll let people decide in chat. I don't know. But yeah, that is... So far, we made it to page 7 of chapter 6. This is huge improvement on the pacing. The scenes are actually taking multiple pages now. I think now it's just getting that variance in sentences and word flow and immersing the readers a bit more, doing more show versus tell. Before this version, I was heading into the warden hunts. The warden hunts? Okay, I'm not quite sure I understand. So there was like another scene in the previous version. But anyway, that is it for What. So thank you, What16, for letting us read this, and one, for letting us see, first of all, your progress. This is an amazing progress to see, and you've only been submitting for what? I don't think you were one of my raccoons all the way back in November, so it's only been like December, maybe January. So this is a lot of improvement in just a very incredibly short amount of time. I don't think I can stress that enough. This is huge improvement, and I'm excited to keep reading next time. So let's go ahead here. Let me look at the Google Doc. I'll go ahead and delete that. But yeah, if you already have most of your draft done and me giving critique isn't going to throw you off on getting this version of the draft done, then yeah, that's absolutely fine. I think I'm always worried about like being more of a hindrance than an asset to some writers, and it's hard to tell. So then it's Des had said that they're going off for family time. There's Bobicus, there's O or a 0 username. I can't see the full thing, but they have the Sage's Son. So if any users in chat right now that has the Sage's Son as their story submission, it's dedicated to Stephen Fletcher. So if anyone's in here with that one. While Ren is fighting this war, Gray and Aleste have been investigating the deaths of other wardens. Why are my lo-fi beats so quiet?
This creator couldn't wait to get home when he was unexpectedly caught in an awkward progressive ad.
Oh my god. Strongly disagree. Let me have my lo-fi beats back. How about you say I was busy revising? Okay, words. I was saying there's someone with a Twitch username of like a 0, like the 0 with the line through it. They have the Sage's Son If that's anyone's work, go ahead and let me know, because they're up next in the queue. Otherwise, then it's, after that, it's someone with a K, who has a queen, a witch, and a brew. That's the one after that. So it's the 0 one with Sage's Son, and then a K with a queen, a witch, and a brew. That one's you? Okay, okay. Are you... Oh, okay, so you're the K one, because you're accused. How'd this turn into a cryptograph? Okay. I was distracted. What's the cryptograph? What? Okay, nope, that's not right. So you're saying here... Think Lord of the Rings, but real history. Sanderson. Like letter substitution. Oh, my weave screen. You've been gone for a while, Tashi. This is my like little waiting screen in between reading people's stuff. It's my weave screen. Sometimes I give little updates here in the different colored text. Otherwise, it's my word jam, and sometimes I do examples. So this was somebody saying like, oh, how do you start stuff? And I'm like, I don't know, I start like this. I just figure things out, and I keep keyboard smashing until I do. There was a secret notes here. It's like we have another weave, and then it was, did you see the other weave I put in? So there's like a secret message in this one. It's scratch paper, yeah. Someone was asking like, oh, how do I do child ahead with like an accent? So that's here. Somebody was asking about what story they should do. I was doing stuff here. Edits, yeah, it's just kind of like scratch paper, but it's my little in-between screen. It's my weave screen. All hail the weave screen. So you're saying this is a script I worked on by myself. You would love feedback and want to see how it fares on its own weight. Okay. This is a script where the dreamer, the viewer, is hanging out by the fireplace for the first time. Sorry, some of the words are off. I'm sorry, for the first time. The series plants seeds for other videos. For other videos. Is this a video script? If go ahead and chat, Kay, and let us know what is this? Like history, it all flows together. The more you learn, the more aha moments we will have. But on its own, how is it? I'll add to the video. So this seems like it's a YouTube video. Is it a... What is this? Let us know in chat. That way, because sometimes what it is, what it technically is, will impact my feedback. Is it a script? It's the first video of the series. Yeah, is this the script for like an anime TV show? Technically, it's a YouTube video. Okay, so it's a YouTube video. What is it? Is it a YouTube video where you're telling the story through? Okay, it's animated, so this is an animated TV show script that's just gonna be released on YouTube. Is that what I'm getting out? Like, the only thing I didn't have worked out was the lead up to the final battle. I even worked on the sequel storyline, but I got kinda high fantasy randomly. The character talks. I don't. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the characters would talk if this is like an animated thing. If this is like a TV show. Can you... Maybe I'll get it better if I just read it. But okay. This is a YouTube series, episode 1. So is this like a podcast thing? And you have like little characters that are gonna read it? I feel like maybe we would understand better if you let us know in chat what is this project? What is this series? Is it a lore character? So I saw a VTuber, a gut that was voicing a slime on the head of a cute anime girl. A guy that was voicing a slime on the head of a cute anime girl. I have an inspiration now. As long as you have inspiration, that's all that matters. It's a brand new concept, so it's something that's never been done. Oh, okay. And you're not going to tell me. Okay. We see history through the eyes of the history figure. So it's like a puppet history. Am I getting that right? Is it kind of like a BuzzFeed Unsolved, like the... Not BuzzFeed Unsolved. Ryan Shane's thing is like puppet history. A queen, a witch, and a brew. I think queen should be capital here. A YouTube series, episode 1, rough draft. Episode 1, scene 1. You open our eyes. There's a party erupting everywhere around us. The liquor is flowing and the lips are loose. You're a fan of extra credits history? Oh, okay. So by you, are you saying like the camera angle is like blinking awake? You should really start trying to actually write my book again. I really hope so. That would be great. You take a look around, but it doesn't quite look like a Viking mead hall. It's made of stone. It's older, like it's from the Roman era. Are these things here just the scene directions for you, or is this actual stuff that's appearing on text for the viewer? Camera's basically a replacement for the audience. It's not a replacement for the audience. We're seeing it through the camera. Okay, everyone, I'm so sorry. The lo-fi beats are bothering me. I'm sorry that some people don't like me repeating the lo-fi beats, but this is genuinely annoying me. I'm going back to my witchy lo-fi. It doesn't give me as many fucking ads constantly throughout the whole thing. So that's what I'm sticking with it. I'm sorry if that pisses people off. There we go. That was genuinely bothering me. I'll look at other stuff in the future, but not that ghost one. No text, it's scene work. Okay. Turn the music I chose for the video. It's royalty free. I'll click on links later. I don't like clicking on random links on chat, on stream. So, Punchy says sure. Yeah, that's tough. Royalty free needs real assurances. But yeah, I'll check. Because sometimes, you never want to click on like a random link, and it's like just like who knows what it is, right? So I'll check it later. Who is it? Programming language list? I don't know what that is. So, one, I'm wondering if you're making the script a little too hard to understand. Right, you don't need to say you open our eyes. That almost seems confusing. You could just say camera mimics opening eyes. The viewers look around a Roman era mead hall. Right, because you're almost like tricking yourself. It doesn't quite look like a Viking mead hall. No one's gonna see this except for you. I haven't gotten that far. It's a rough draft. So yeah, this is just me making notes and suggestions for yourself, right? Like, don't make it too confusing to understand your own drafts when you're reworking it, when you're on the second or third draft. Go ahead and just edit it like, oh yeah, the camera angle looks around, right? Mimicking opening eyeballs. But the you open our eyes, I was like, oh wait, is this dialogue? Is this appearing on screen? What does this mean? Looks like it's from the Roman era. You feel a powerful hand being laced on our shoulder. Pats you a few times, then a whisper comes dancing into your ear. So that there's, when we were having it earlier, like, oh, there was too much telling not showing. There's almost too much showing here compared to just telling for a script. Then a whisper comes dancing into our ear. About time, dreamer, you kept a queen waiting. Was it accusatory? Was it playful? Was it tsundere? Wait. Yeah, that's the next draft. Okay. I think this part is the notes. I think this part, you kept a queen waiting. I think that's the dialogue. I think everything after isn't the dialogue. Suddenly the party stops. Everyone realizes at once. They run out. She pouting, like it wasn't enough time for her and you. Was it the queen who was speaking? Was it a female voice who was saying about time dreamer? You kept a queen waiting? Okay. She sighs. Time for the show, dreamer. Everyone turns to her for wisdom, for command, for leadership. One asks, can you see a way out of this mess? O victorious mistress. She steps ahead of us and we don't see her face. But she is very tall, wild, untamed red hair running down to her waist. She is wearing a colorful red cloak. She has powerful shoulders. Her hands find her hips as if she's used to taking command. Yeah, it's the queen, okay. Blue woman is at it again? What am I at again? Am I up to scuff issues again? Yeah, this is a script. It's a rough draft of a script. So it's a script for a YouTube series. Commanding tone and accusatory. You lot drank the last of the meat, didn't you? Of course you did. She shakes her head. She's standing before a bucket. She points into its depths. Come here and spit into this bucket? What? You said this was a history thing? My tummy hurting today? Oh, I'm sorry, decaffeinated. Tearing through people's work fucking course? I'm not trying to, I'm sorry if I'm coming across too mean. I was just trying to understand this. Like, I was like, wait, let me go back. Is this the woman speaking? Is this here? Sometimes knowing, like, what questions people have as they're reading it isn't to be mean, it's to let people know, like, oh, people won't understand this here. This is what yep, it's a real myth being told before our eyes, but it's also a historic event. Okay. She's the first to spit in it, the last taste of the mead leaving her lips. They get up one by one to spit in the bucket. The first is a man dressed in red. He looks to be in charge of half the crowd. He gives her a serious look. Her shoulders look more tense, as if peace between them is on trail. On trial? You get the sense these two aren't friends. You smell the apothecary from her bag before you know what she's doing. I'm not sure that's the right word. From her bag, she produces a handful of red berries. Here, everyone, like an order. Glasgow? Bunches of the crowd come up, take a handful, and crush them before throwing the berries into the pot. It looks like they are squeezing out blood from their hands, or is that from the berries? When you lean in and take a look, Cavisier is born. It's bubbling in the bucket. The smell fills the air, fishy and disgusting. It sounds like a fun place to be. Hi, Bard. I hope it is. Yeah, right now we're actually reading submissions from some of our raccoons here in chat. And while we go through, I try to give critiques and feedback. So if that's your kind of jam, then welcome on in. I'm just talking shit. It's 8 a.m. What do you expect? Okay, triangle toll. Oh, it's trial. The trial something? Okay, wait. Like an order? I'm not sure where trial was. Maybe I've already forgotten it. Maybe it's right here in front of me and I'm just not seeing it. But Cavisier is born. So right now we're reading a script from, is it pronounced Kunst? Kunst in chat. And this is going to be a script for a YouTube series going over history and myths. I'm not sure if I'm saying it. I'm sorry. It's Kunst. It's Kewnst in chat. I'm probably saying it absolutely wrong. My bad. Yeah, you've been trying to write a novel yourself? That's awesome. Kunst? Is that how you say it? That's awesome though. It's we're all definitely in here learning together. That's one of the big things. I'm never coming here as someone who like knows writing or writes better than anyone else. I'm here as like, oh, I loved having critique partners in critique circles. Man, I would really love to start one of those myself because I'm trying to give the kind of feedback I would want to give in the critique circles I've been at. So, yeah, this is definitely a place where we give encouragement, where we celebrate everyone's, like, victories. We have self-published authors here. We have people going through querying and getting their agents and trying to get published. People writing scripts for YouTube or scripts for comics or just rough drafts and plotting for stuff that they're doing for fun. This is, we're kind of a diverse bunch over here. And we're all just trying to get better together. But it's a one-man team, me, except for voice actors, but that comes later. Yeah, and that's fine. My Three Little Witches thing is a script, right? It's a full-on script. So I understand, like, sometimes it's that rougher draft. I'm sorry if I'm seeming like I'm making fun of you. I'm genuinely not. Sometimes I'm just trying to be like, okay, wait, what is this saying? Let me process here. That's the thing with reading things live on stream. You guys get to see all my faults and errors, too. You get to see me struggle. You only write cryptid fanfics. We actually have an official fanfic. Author Relic wrote our first official Cryptid Roots fanfic. It has Commander Roots. If you guys ever wonder where Commander Roots comes from, it's kind of from there. And then I'm a I'm a silly little ditz in the fanfic. A little ditzy scientist who accidentally like did a zombie curse or something. It was great. Yeah, you're writing a psychological thriller. A tiny bit of not safe for work with a few curses, but all in situation. After all, we don't hit our thumbs with hammers and go, ouch, that hurt. Yeah, so besides for the NSFW stuff, can't be read here on stream just because I get too embarrassed reading not safe for work stuff, all the spicy stuff. But everything else you could actually submit here in the future and you'll get critique and feedback from. It's everything from rough drafts to scripts to 3rd, 2nd, 4th, 25th drafts. Oh yeah, they haven't published this yet. Yeah, this is the first rough draft of episode 1, scene 1. This is the very beginning. This is where it all starts. So everyone here, when you see this later and it blows up and they become super famous, you'll get to see where they started. You guys can be OG fans from the start. Alright, that's what we're all here for. We're all here to be the #1 fan for all these future writers. So the smell fills the air, fishy and disgusting, but doesn't stay that way. As it bubbles, it starts smelling sweeter and less fishy. Smelling better already, she says confidently. The men in the room are leaning over the pot too, watching the froth overflow and seep everywhere. Stores next month, that'll be so exciting! Don't forget to ask for a commission. You're just here so you don't get fined? What would you get fined with? Oh my goodness. Is it Chatty Matty? Is Chatty Matty bothering you? I'll beat up Chatty Matty, don't you worry. I can hit him with a little hammer. I can go boink. Kavisir sure is active today, she loudly notes to the crowd. See, Echo's going beast mode. Saying, what? Don't worry about it, Chatty Matty. I didn't say anything. Nothing happened, don't you worry. Don't you worry, a pretty little thought in your head. She loudly notes to the crowd. She covers the bucket with a cloth of some sort. She pours the brew into a pot, leaving the crushed red berries in the bucket. She tastes it. We have a football fan in the house? You heard Banhammer Girl? No. What? Chat, did I ever say that? I don't think those words ever left my mouth. I never said that. I don't. No, I don't know. You're just being paranoid, Chatty Matt. You're just being paranoid. I would never do that. Okay, I'm focusing. Jeez, you guys outbullied me. Granted, it was deserved. I was bullying you guys, but still. Needs blood honey to sweeten. She pulls a smaller jar out of her bag and lets us have a sniff. It smells slightly of violets. She pours it into the pot. Almost instantly, Kavisir got even happier. Is Kavisir a person? Or is Kavisir like the broth that she's making, this concoction she's cooking? She states as if she's part of the ultimate wisdom of the universe. This next part is important. Richard barely knows how to turn on Twitch. Echoes, why are you being mean to me? Which is bubbles. From the broth, it's mead. The Norse god of poetry? Oh, is it both? Is it bubbles and the Norse god of poetry? Is that what this myth is? As Kavisir settles down, drunk off its own work, she pours the liquid into a kettle, killing the bubbles. She is whispering to the brew. Okay, so yeah, so it's boil bugles and stuff. It's brewing words. Okay, yeah, I'm not asking what the translation is, but right now it sounds like it's a person because Kvisir settles down, drunk off of its own work. So it's the god of maybe mead? Who was born for mead? Mead, that's endearment. The warm paddle of endearment. That's what, sometimes I feel like I'm not trying to be, I'm trying to ask you like a direct thing, and sometimes I'm like, oh, you're answering everything except the direct answer. Grisir was the god who was made as a peace treaty between Asgard and Vanaheim, and was killed by dwarves and turned into the mead of poetry. Oh, okay. I'm not. Is that what myth we're going over here? Because we're doing myths and history. That's what the script is about. So maybe this is that god being born. For Lambda, you just got a bit of a rough grade on one of your news reporting assignments, and 80. Don't say 80% is a rough grade. This is why I didn't end up going into journalism. Oh my god. Do not complain about getting a B. Oh my god. I'm glad my Easter eggs are paying off already. Okay. Well, one, I'm not sure they were because I was still confused until Chatty Matty explained it to me. That's what I was asking. I'm like, wait, is this a person? Is this a deity? Is this a god? Or is this something being made? The answer was this is a god. This is a deity. It's a person. You failed junior year English? But you're not the same person who was complaining about the B, or you know that's Lambda. Okay. Calling a B a rough grade is why I didn't go to college. Why are you guys all so silly? I was, for middle school onward, I was in like the pre-IB, and then high school I was in advanced classes and getting college credit for classes in high school, and then I went to college. So I was a smart cookie. I also had depression, which then really impacted my grades, high school and then in college. And something that you guys don't know, the really, really smart kids in all those advanced classes and IB classes, because we all get burnt out and we have depression. We didn't know it at the time, but we were all burnt out and depressed. That's something that you look back on with hindsight. That's 2020. One of the things is when you're one of those smart kids, you can calculate how many assignments you need to do to pass, and which assignments you can just not do and still get a passing grade. So you can fully calculate, you're like, okay, if I do all of these assignments and in class, and I do this well in the test, and I do this, then I actually don't need to do homework for like a solid 3 weeks, and I'll still get a B- and a passing grade in this thing. You realize like, oh, okay, I got a C in this one test. If I get an A on the next one, then I can just cruise by with B's for this, and then fail the last one, and I'm good. Like, we calculated how much shit we could get away with. They wanted a book report. I turned in an essay on rocks. Echoes, why did you do that? You'll see hindsight is 2020, the COVID era. As good as the visual storytelling on the screen, which I haven't put down in paper yet. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like at this point, if this was visually, I would be able to tell if this was a person or bubbles yet. That's why I'm asking. I'm not asking even for spoilers. I'm just clarifying, hey, this is a rough draft. There's stuff I'm missing out on because it's a rough draft. Visually, in the finished product, what did you want here? What did you want being portrayed? You want to portray this is a god, this is a deity. I was sick for 2 months and super behind. Oh no! I would do the calculations and then still do the assignments anyway. Lambda, get out of here. Banned. What's all these words about college? I'm just trying to make full sentences here. Hey, me too. Me too. Look, I got that college fucking degree, and you can see. This is what a college degree will get you, kids. You get a weave screen. This is a weave screen. That's what you get after college. Greece, do you have a god who compulsively bangs everything that moves? Norway says no. Greece, I mean, neither do we. Who would even have that kind of god? Student heart of myself. Have you had any materials published? Have I? In the way that you're meaning, no. No. Right? No. I had to think and process for a second there. I'm like, wait, how literally do I had to take this? No, in the way you're meaning, no, I haven't. I actually had really bad depression. I was going to college for creative writing, and I was in a bad relationship, and I was not doing good mentally, and I was burning out, and I actually switched my major from creative writing to costuming. So I ended up getting a costuming and sewing degree. And now Cryptid Roots is an embroidery and sewing business I run with my sibling, who's Roots. I'm Cryptid, they're Roots. Together we're Cryptid Roots. And then when I started streaming, I just wanted to be like, I want to do stuff that makes me happy again. And I'm in a better place now. I want to get back into writing and editing and doing all the different stuff and getting into storycraft and storytelling. So I started this Twitch channel here. And now we all get to hang out and talk about stories. So it's kind of fun. It's bubbles visually. Okay, so I'm seeing bubbles. That's what I'm seeing in the script. Okay. My finals to pass and figure out how much to study for each test. Yeah, video, cinema, visual novels are a different kind of breed than a straight text novel. That's why, I'm not judging, oh no, you're not saying this well enough in the script, especially for a rough draft script. I was just clarifying, wait, visually, what am I seeing for Kavizir? What are we seeing? And you're saying it's bubbles, so that's fine. Any years it takes to unfuck ourselves from academia one at a time. She's had her face published on Etsy. Man, I hate those fucking pictures, but I just want to sell those goddamn hats. I hope your heart is less heavy now then. I can relate. Thank you so much, Bart. That's very kind of you. But yes, it was generally, since I was actually engaged to that person, and I broke off that engagement, and I came back right at the start of 2020. Literally just a few months before the pandemic hit and kind of shut down Florida. That's the one bit. So I was literally, I canceled this engagement. I broke it off. I left. I was getting myself into this better thing, and then boom. Oh, thank you for the bits. That's very nice. That's very kind of you. Oh, it's time for you to go. It was brief but very fun. Have a great stream. Thank you so much, Mako. Come. There we go. Have a great night. Have some good sleep. Mindset is 2020. There's a healthy way to pursue your passions in an unhealthy way. And whoever decided finals should be a thing. Yeah. Finals are never fun. I didn't like that. I was actually a great test taker, and I still hated that stuff. I remember I had endometriosis still in high school. I was really suffering from that. And there was this huge... It was an AP test. So again, if you mess up on this test, you do not get college credit. AP is for college credit. So you're studying extra hard. These are tough classes. But my grades get filled with a severe dread anxiety. Probably shouldn't be like that. It probably shouldn't, but that is the horrible reality of our world right now. So I'm really sorry, Lambda. That sucks. Tests are evil, yeah. So I was a pretty good test taker, but I had endometriosis, which it's very severe pain. I was throwing up basically every time I was on my cycle because of the pain. It was so horrible. And this was during an AP test. So if I fail this test, then that means that the whole year of being in this AP class, I wouldn't get college credit for it. So I had to be good on it. And I was in this class, and the classes were based off of last name. It was alphabetical order. So my last name started with R. I was in this class. I was doing the AP test. I was feeling sick. I was going to throw up any second now. And this thing is timed. You cannot leave. There's rules for AP tests, right? There's the international rules and standards. To the right of me was my, at the time, boyfriend, whose name also started with R. They were also in the same class. They were taking the test. So to the right of me, directly in this thing, is my boyfriend at the time. Right in front of me is my boyfriend's best friend, the number one bro, the one bro you have to impress in order to be the cool girlfriend. Right, my desk is right behind him. I'm right in front of the back of his neck, right? So if I do become sick, if I vomit during this AP test, I would vomit right in front of my new boyfriend at the time, right in class, onto his best friend who was also taking this AP test. So I was sweating. I was sweat was going down my back. I was trying so hard not to throw up. And I was in incredible pain. So I'm there, I'm hurting, I am aching. The reason why I'm going up is because the pain is so bad. You can literally be in so much pain that you throw up. That's how much pain I was in. I was uncomfortable. I was in pain. You can't get up and leave or anything like that because it's AP test. And I know that if anything goes wrong, anything would go wrong in front of my boyfriend and his best friend. So I held it together. I did it. I did the test. I passed with flying colors. I think this was one of the writing ones. It was like an English test, whatever. I don't even remember. And then I left, and I immediately told the person, it was my last AP test of the day, and I was like, I need to go home. And they're like, no, there's more classes. And I'm like, I need to go home. I feel sick. And they were like, okay. And then I went to the principal's office, and I looked at the receptionist, and I'm like, please call my mother. I'm feeling sick. And they're like, are you sure? Okay, yeah, you do look kind of pale. You look a little sweating. Okay, sure, we'll call your mom. And I'm like, thank you. And then I turned around. The bathroom was right there next to her desk, and I went into the bathroom and I threw up. But she could hear me. And I just stayed there throwing up until my mom came to pick me up. And then poor receptionist's like, oh, she's really throwing up. She seems so sad. She could have just skipped school today. And I was like, no, I had an AP test. And she was like, oh, yeah. Never mind. Let's go home now. I never did well on my exams, but that was eons ago. Well, at least there's good comedy in the story. I was so close. I was so close to throwing up on my boyfriend and his best friend. How long were these fucking AP exams? I don't remember. They're over an hour. They're like 1 or 2 hours, something like that. It was something crazy. The whole time I'm just there thinking of every question, but also thinking in the front of my mind, do not throw up on them, do not throw up. You will be single so fast. Do not throw up on your boyfriend's best friend in the middle of an AP test. And I was there, and I was like putting my hand over my mouth. And I was like, I was just looking at the back of his neck sometimes being like, do not throw up, do not throw up. You will never be able to undo it. And I held it together just long enough. Hyperfixation on some vibe could fix that shit ASAP. I wrote a 100-page rulebook for a tabletop role-playing game to play with my girlfriend in just a few days. Or you just have ADHD, I don't know. Mike, I say this as somebody who has ADHD. I say this as an ADHD cryptid. You might have ADHD. That might be a thing. AP test. AP stands for animated puke. You gotta cry about that exam. Good on you for knowing that was like, that shit was graded out of 5 though. Good job. So yeah, thank God I was a good test taker, but that was one of the hardest tests of my life just because I was fighting for my life the whole time. That was so unfair. That was brutal. I feel so bad for past me, but yes, to anyone who was asking earlier, I'm in a much better place. It gets so much better after you are out of bad relationships and you're not in school anymore. Who knew? Who knew that was someone that fixed all of our problems? Anyway, poor Kuhn's just still waiting for me to keep reading. Let me mute the mic, I have to... Sorry, I just had to cough. I might genuinely... I played New Vegas like 9 months ago and still is hyperfixated on Joshua Grill. It's not a bad thing. Listen, our life is just made up of all the different hyperfixations we made on the way. That's what my personality is made up of. Oh, thank you. Let me take a sippy and then let's keep reading here for poor Cutes. She's being very patient. So the bubble, so Mr. Sure is active today. No, we were further. As it cools, the kettle lid lifts and it's a sweet smell, and it's blood red. Oh wait, no, we were before that. She pours the liquid into a kettle, killing the bubbles. She is whispering to the crew. I'm sorry, she says delicately. Kavissar, you have to drown. Oh, so she's saying that to the bubbles. As it cools, the kettle lid lifts and it's a sweet smell, and it's blood red. She whispers, it's done. It's almost 8 a.m. already, Jesus. It's just 11:30 for local cryptid time over here. It's 11:39 technically, but yeah. As it cools and the kettle lid lifts and it's a sweet smell and it's blood red, she whispers, it's done. Her head turns, but her wild red hair is in the way of seeing her face. In a serious but playful maternal tone. No, Dreamer, you're too young. This is an educational program after all. Can't be teaching you bad habits. Party's back on, she announces to the crowd. Everyone cheers and 4 a.m. UK here? Oh my goodness. Bard, what are you doing awake still? It's 4 a.m. So the party's back on, she announces to the crowd. Everyone cheers and the party continues. With the first cup, the bards are singing its praise already. The tanned and dark-haired brewers are taking notes. This is the first brew. This is the best brew they've had in ages. They make their way to her, almost as if they are afraid of her, clearly part of the other side of the crowd. They don't even reach her shoulders in height. You must take this back to the brewery. Please, victorious mistress, they plead to the queen. I think the quotation mark's off here. I think it should be here. She squares up her shoulders to them. Boo releases the tension straight away. 8 a.m. rush or fuck this so-called sleep schedule. Oh my goodness. Listening to your sweet tones, what else is there to do? I'm still amazed. I normally hate the sound of my voice. I'm always amazed people actually are here to listen to me talk and yap. But, oh, okay, so the shoulders butt releases the tension straight away. Of course you can take some home with you. Start your own brew. They look at each other. The queen already knew what they planned. Their brows furrow. Okay, now we're in the second scene. She's slightly amused. The queen does some hand gesture calling you over. Come, my little dreamer. Come and see what happens next. Look. The scene changes instantly. Oh, you are invisible as always, watching the doors work? So our character's invisible? Oh, that's an important note to bring up in the beginning. We are invisible. Watching the doors work. So we're seeing doors. They are trying to follow her steps. ADHD professional seamstress turned streamer editor, now an animal balloon specialist. So what's for dinner? When did I become an animal balloon specialist? Wait, let me check my notes. When did that happen? Oh, wait, I'm looking at my talents here. Okay, corset maker, embroiderer, seamstress, this, that, editor. Yeah, I got that one recently. What do? Customer service specialist, manager, store manager, entrepreneur. I don't see an animal balloon specialist. That's part of my lore. I forgot it. Animal balloon specialist sounds like a Navy unit. We are seeing what she wants to show us. It's part of her magic. Oh, and myths. And known for it in history as well. You're seeing what she wants us to show us. Okay. That's Easter egg stuff. Okay, Is it Easter egg stuff? Like you're gonna save it as an Easter egg and it's never explicitly revealed in this whole series? Or is it something that's revealed in this episode and you're just trying to wait till I get to the end of the episode to find out? No, okay, it was just a little bit more. Okay. What do you mean by Easter egg? What is your intention with Easter egg? It is revealed in another episode. Okay. So I think, one, you don't keep spoilers from yourself as the writer here, because normally scripts are just for you. In this case, you're also editing raccoons, right? That's fine. You don't need to hide spoilers for an editor. I'm not the person you are hiding stuff from. Just let me know. And then when we know the sequence, then we can make sure, like, oh yeah, well, we shouldn't reveal that yet. Okay, yes, this is a good hint. Is that? Then we can hint it. So you don't need to be like, oh no, like that's an Easter egg for later. I'm like, no, just tell me. I'm not the person you're hiding it from. Normally I'd show you the whole series outline. That's fine. Let's just go through episode 1 right now. Let's focus. Before some raccoon gives me the focus redeem. Let's focus. Come, my little dreamer. So the dwarves can't see us. They're trying to follow her steps, but they get greedy and pour it into 3 containers. They don't have enough blood honey, so they add extra normal honey to it. One dwarf turns to the other. This one is our starter, the next one is ours, the last one we sell. The other two brewers look happy at that idea. They finish it in a kettle, drowning the Kavizir. You want to see how this works as a first pass, first episode from an audience standpoint? Yeah, that's fine. Look at foot stinks, fire, mammoths, meat, cook, eat, sleep. Is that how you guys think I used to eat out in the swamps? Out in the Florida swamps before I emerged to study mankind? You fools. You fools! I actually didn't know too much about fire. It seemed, I was very clumsy with it. I mostly ate my food raw. I actually discovered microwaves the same time as the raccoons did, when I came out to the abandoned 811. The queen waves in the air and we flash back to the party in her hall. The crowd having run out of drinks again at the party. One of them asked, "Hey, didn't those drawers take some home with them?" A big burly blacksmith thunders, "Yeah, of course, the party needs to keep going." We follow the crowd back to the brewers. I love her beats. If it's not interesting enough or not enough Easter eggs for people to latch onto, they won't stay for the other episodes. Well, one, you don't need a ton of Easter eggs. You don't need a ton of Easter eggs. I don't want you getting caught up in how many things can I hide from viewers to reveal later that you keep from revealing cool things in the beginning. Imagine a fucking caveman plugging his microwave into a bare-ass stone wall. That's what I did. I started streaming. I gave Roots the raccoon human intelligence, and I didn't know it, but that actually also gave them human depression and anxiety. I didn't know that would cause that, but I gave Roots the raccoon human intelligence and therefore human stress and anxiety. And I asked them to help me set up stuff because I wanted to stream and learn more about humans. And they didn't know what they were doing, but my powers kind of like let them do stuff as long as they figure it out. And we gathered together all the stuff from the abandoned dumpsters behind Best Buy and the abandoned 811, and we plugged in like all the wires to the trash cans out here, and that's how I'm able to stream. Is there a cue to add my first chapter into to hear your reading, get a realism feel back? No, and it's just a couple of F-bombs. Yeah, if you click on the Discord link, there's a Discord. Just check the rules real quick, and then in the Discord there's a story submission section, and you just submit it right there. That's all it is. Easy peasy. So we follow the crowd back to the brewers. The crowd forms around the brewer's door. They shout and bang on the door. The dwarves open it. It's hard to see them directly. They are shorter than the crowd. Red shoulders his way through the crowd, asks them, "Hey, is your mead done yet? We want more." The dwarves being a little greedy here and deceptive. The Guazgu choked. For us. What was that sound? Anyway. We would know it's stalled. That's why they added honey. We also know Guazgu was the crushing. Wait a second. I think I'm getting a little confused in this section. What's dialogue and what's just the explanation? When? Guazgu. The electricity is cut. You just draw stuff on the stone wall for each frame you move. Just like clumsily draw and then erase it and draw the next frame in a hurry. Is that how you want me to pilot the VTuber? You guys are going to be very disappointed. My art skills are not as pretty as this VTuber model. Start my episode with the main character going through a basket of Easter eggs, reciting every one of them and speaking directly to the camera to make sure that the viewer understands. Wait, no! Wait, no, that's not what I'm saying either. This is what my raccoons do. They take everything out of context. So you're saying is talking. So this part is still talking. Snowclasky was the crushing. The queen leans in towards us. They are lying and choking on their own words. She giggles. The next part gets me. Everyone groans. Now I have bold. Of course they aren't smart enough to handle the queen's bubbly rune, berry mead. She puffs her chest out beside us. Yep, they thought they were smarter than the queen witch herself. Ha. Is this everyone speaking? Visual them crushing. From earlier Guazgu, they got the word wrong. You'll see. It's everyone in the crowd talking. Okay. The scene continues. They grumble and disperse, all but Red. He's suspicious of them. He lingers for a moment before he decides his plan. That night, Red comes back, sneaks inside the brewery, and doesn't know which one to take from. So he takes a little from each vessel, mumbling maybe they won't notice. He finishes and replaces the cloth on top. We follow him to a secluded cave deep inside a mountain to hide it. There's a lot of just these parentheses. Sometimes I'm not sure. At first I thought they were just doing the actions, but sometimes they're also just here randomly. She says with a bit of mirth to her voice. He thinks he's smart. Everything gets even better with age. Fighting a laugh. He tells a giant of a man and his daughter to guard it, to let it age. With age. Okay, so that's the dialogue. And here she's fighting a laugh. That's the you need to don't. Yeah, that's fine. I think maybe in the future, just having this, just going back. It's not even like a full edit. I'm not saying like it as an edit, just to self-edit a little bit, to go back and just make sure everything's properly, like do a little spell check, to do a little self-edit to make sure everything's in the correct format, or at least like, I'm not asking for like proper formatting of a script. Lord knows I don't even know proper formatting for a script. Just make it a little bit more clear. She steps beside us. We still don't even ever get to see her face. The closest we get is a pale neck and her golden torch shining. Is that torch? And her golden torch shining? That man would do anything for a good drink, won't he? Yggdrasil is a marvelous tree, don't you think? Great as mead, we make medicine of it. It's wood used in farming tools. We carve runes into its wood for protection. Even its other names are magic, Rowan and Witch. After yours truly, the legendary witch herself. She slaps the dreamer on the back. We fade out. The dreamer awakens. And the credit rolls. Okay, so the dreamer awakens. Are we still looking from his point of view? Torque is it's a Celtic necklace. Chieftains wear are queens and royalty. Okay, so it's a necklace. Okay, so that was correct. That's why sometimes I question things. Me questioning things isn't like a comment or a critique. It's just me clarifying. So here, one of my things I want to ask is the dreamer like waking up. Are we seeing the dreamer? Like, is the viewer looking down on the dreamer? Are we still looking through the dreamer's eyes? Are we looking up at like a ceiling of a modern day room? What does it mean? What are we seeing when the dreamer awakens? When our character awakens? I think that would be a good thing to specify here. It fades to black. That leaves that we fade out. Smart detection? Like it's a dream, that's it. Yeah, so I'm saying if you're saying it's fade to black, then that's what this is. So after we fade to black, then the dreamer awakens. What does the dreamer awakens mean? What are we seeing when the dreamer awakens? It's just fade to black? I'll give you a second to type. Let me think here. So normally here I do, after my questions and stuff and after reading, I try to do 1 or 2 pieces of critique. It was all just a dream, the end. Well, yeah, they're the dreamer, so I guess that makes sense, that they're viewing stuff in their dream. Boy, do I mess up more when I type fast. Higher echoes? For what? For what in particular? So yeah, so the final thing is fade out. Because the dark and stormy night. Oh, that's what actually happened. Yeah, what actually happened was it was all a dream and it wakes up. So yeah, they are the dreamer. We're seeing what happens in their dreams for these myths. It sounds like, I'm not sure if it's actually history, if it's myths. But like historical myths throughout different cultures and time periods. So 1, this isn't a critique, this is just advice. I think like when I was asking in the beginning, like, oh, like what is this, like what, and it was just going back and forth. You were doing a lot of other things, saying it's something that's never been done, and I'm like, what does that mean? I think one, you need to be more clear and direct with what project you're doing, right? Because other people might want to see this, they might want to watch your YouTube videos, but if you can't even say what your YouTube videos are, then no one's gonna know if they ever want to watch it. So you're doing an animated series that's animating different myths and folk tales throughout history to show what happened. The fact that it's a dream, the fact that we're following a character in person, that's all cool. That's part of the thing that you're doing, but that's not like part of the plot. The catcher here is like, hey, I'm animating different myths and folk tales. Yes, but they also all tie together. Yeah, just like puppet history. Yeah. So there's like an overarching plot, but to get people into it, just to give your pitch, to give your direct answer. It's like, oh yeah, I'm writing scripts and I'm animating stories of myths and legends throughout history. That's what you're doing. Because rather than just saying like it's never been done, I'm like, what do you mean it's never been done? I don't know what am I looking at? Saying it's kind of like a YouTube series. It's kind of an animated thing. You were saying a lot of things. I'm like, I don't know what I'm reading. What am I clicking? If this was on YouTube, what am I clicking on? What am I watching? What am I supposed to? Just directly say stuff. You don't need to say everything, but give a general thing. Like I can say, oh, my Three Witches project. It's the story of a hero who goes and slaughters 3 evil witches, and then over time loses motivation. Is there more stuff that happens in that? Absolutely, but that's the gist. That's the general vibe. Hire Echo the Ghost Editor. He'll scramble your work, jumble the tenses, shift perspectives at random, create narrative inconsistencies, break the fourth wall, and go off on endless tangents. Remember, kids, always tell, never show. Oh my goodness, Echo. That's one of the spookiest things you could ever say to a writer. You're clicking on the random thing that YouTube algorithm rolled for you to... Do you guys not curate your feed? Do you guys not click on the thing that's like, no, I don't want to watch that? No, I don't want to see more from this channel? Do you guys not curate your feed? Is that just me? Oopsie. You always curate. Oh, okay. It's not just me then. Phew. But yeah, like be able to answer things direct. It's okay if you're not saying everything. No one's expecting you to explain the entire whole plot of everything and all the Easter eggs and all the things. But be able to know what story you're doing. What project are you doing? And your project is, there's some horrible stuff out there, right? There's some horrendous stuff out there. What the hell is this sentiment? I don't know, that's too scary. But yeah, be able to be confident in your work and to explain it clearly. Even if you're not explaining everything, just give people the gist. That's okay. We don't need to overcomplicate stuff. But oh, thank you for the hydrated hydrate. Thank you. Here's everyone's sippy. I just hit the monitor. Oopsie. Here's your sippy. Oh, and thank you, Sunova, for the posture check. That's also very nice. Hello, and it's good to see you. Welcome on in. We just finished reading a cool script for a YouTube series idea. So everyone unshrimp your backs. Everyone move your shoulders back and forth and roll your shoulders around. Check your neck back and forth. Lift it up. Even my model's doing it with you. I'm doing it with you too. We're all going to unshrimp ourselves. We're going to save our bones. Just added on your Discord picture. Oh, thank you. That's very nice. It's good to see you guys. It's actually incredible. When we only started the Discord because people were asking for it, and we were still so little. I'm like, oh wow, people actually want to do a Discord with me. Okay. And I asked Roots because I hadn't really been on Discord before, so Roots set up a Cryptid Roots Discord for us. And then it's actually been like so amazing seeing our little community of raccoons grow. I'm like so honored you guys like hang out with me. Not even just on stream, which I stream every other day for hours. Like you guys already deal with me a lot. But even off stream too, we're like chatting over there. We're like talking about writing. We're like having memes and stuff back and forth. It's like really cool. So random trivia: can you name a series or movie that used the term cracker instead of hacker? Instead of hacker, like talking about a hacker, but they're saying cracker. I'm from the South. Cracker means different. Cracker and hacker mean very different things. A hacker could be a cracker. You see that man? He's a cracker. Yeah, cracking is breaking into something. A crackhead. No, that's not even about a crackhead. A cracker is a... It's a different thing in the South. It's a type of hacking. Okay, so you're saying, like, cracking is breaking into something. That makes sense. I would absolutely hear, like, oh, you're gonna crack into something. You're cracking into something. That makes sense. But referring to them as a cracker... It's a specific type of white person. We'll never see Cracker Barrel the same again, yeah. You only know one bodacious space pirates? Fun series? Is that real? What? Sometimes I feel like you guys just say words in chat, and because I don't know much about humans, I'll believe you. Cracker is a hacker who is malicious. A hacker is someone who does it for the knowledge. I thought there was like the different colors for hackers to do that. Like if it was like was it like a white hat or black hat hacker? Don't look up cat girls from outer space. Sorry, you're just working in IT. Yeah, Papa Cryptid's actually an IT specialist. He's really cool. He knows all the hacking stuff. I don't. All that knowledge did not go on to Baby Cryptid. all that knowledge stayed with Papa Cryptid. I didn't get any of that shit. I didn't get any of those brains. I got brains for writing. I didn't get brains for IT stuff. Well, no, he's actually really smart. And Grandpa Cryptid, who's Papa Cryptid's father, is also incredibly smart. He was an engineer, and then he retired a couple times, and then he kept going back to work as a really incredible engineer, because he would get bored and he has to stay working. And then he finally like really retired, and he told the Cryptid family, like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do in my retirement? And we were like, what? Finally relax? And he's like, no, I'm gonna go to law school. And he did, and he passed the bar. I forget if it was on his first or second try. I think on his second try. But I might be wrong. Maybe I'm underestimating Grandpa Cryptid. And then he became a lawyer, and now in his retirement, he's working part-time as a lawyer. And we're like, sure, Grandpa Cryptid. Whatever you want to do in your fucking retirement, okay. He's like, yeah, it's so much more chill than being an engineer all the time. He's just like helping out at this law firm. What level of procrastination? This man does not procrastinate. No, this wasn't he just can't rest. Grandpa Cryptid cannot rest. He cannot settle. He needs to be doing something always. There's not procrastination. That is literally, you give that man a job, he will figure it out. Sounds like a good fight. It was crazy. So yeah, in his retirement, he went to law school. Now he's a part-time lawyer. So like, and it's apparently easier and more relaxing than being an engineer. So I guess if there are any engineer raccoons out there, there's more relaxing fields like being a lawyer. Who knew? The apple doesn't fall far. Yeah, so you can see where Papa Cryptid got it from. A very engineer mindset. He's very IT. He loves building computers. He loves doing like hacking adjacent things. He's very smart with computers and technology. So that's Grandpa Cryptid was engineer. Papa Cryptid is tech and IT. And then I got zero of that shit. So I can become one at my age. Yeah, I guess any age. My aunt is like that. She has retired twice and still works for the government. Yeah, see, when you're still working in your retirement, that is it has some uncolored hair left. And that is, I still have some uncolored hair left. Yeah. So yeah, Grandpa Cryptid retired multiple times and then just kept going back to work because he was bored. He's the full circle of skill sets now. He can build the bridge, watch it fall down, and then sue himself. Yeah, Grandpa Cryptid's interesting. He's working with like a lot of scientists and stuff in his spare time while he was still going to law school. Part of his retirement thing was he wanted to work with these scientists who are doing renewable energy, and he's actually like asking them for the plans, and he's been building their prototypes and testing it on his own house for renewable energy stuff. So he's just been making his own house into a test lab, and I'm like, okay. As long as it's safe. And he's like, yeah, they don't actually have any safety regulations about this stuff yet because it's so new. So there's no technical laws against it yet. It's just paperwork. It's not that scandalous. Oh my god. Your own family's mistake for being a passenger in a car. But I struggled to compress it into a soundbite for Tish, which is very useful. You would definitely work on it. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes you guys are gonna hear me tangent off. It's fine. Only engineers can build a bridge that barely stands. Yeah, okay, so that was my first advice to you of like, oh yeah, look, work on your pitch. Be able to explain this stuff quickly to people and get people excited for this. Because if you're doing all this work into a project, I also want you to be able to explain it to people to get them excited about your project. We as the creators and stuff, we're always gonna have to be our number one fans and our number one like advertisers. Our number one cheerleaders. And I want you to be able to get cheerleaders and other people invested into this project too, because it sounds like you're doing a lot, and I want that for you. So one, just a general thing, work on your formatting. I'm not saying you have to find and look up what's the exact way that's the official like screenwriter's format, especially since you're not submitting this to a production company to get it done, right? You're doing it yourself. So it just needs to be understood by you and whoever's helping you. But whatever format you do, if it's parentheses for all the action and what's happening on scene, do parentheses consistently. If it's dialogue, make sure you write who is saying the dialogue. Things like, just make it a little bit, like, tidied up a bit. More developed rough draft of this episode, but I scrapped it for something I learned yesterday. Oh yeah, what did you learn? We are number one triggered. We're number one. We're number one. So that would be my first thing, and that's not developmental ed. That's just like, hey, for clarity here, for yourself and for other people trying to help you on this project. Make sure to do a self-edit pass here and tidy everything up. And then 2. Let me see here. Let me see how this ends. So 1, I'm not actually quite sure how the story ends. About Mountain Ash and how important it was to everyone in Europe and especially to the Vikings. Okay, so the story is, right, we are watching this great witch, this cool lady. She's made this brew for the party. The dwarves try to learn it and they take it back to go and make some more, right? But they're lazy. I guess they spread it out too much. They weaken it. They don't use the correct type of honey. And so they have the bad batches here. They all realize that the party ends. Red goes over and he takes a sample. Bad connection tonight? Oh, is it from my end? It's Freya, just so you know. Yeah, so in the script, you can actually write from the beginning that it's Freya. And then you just won't reveal it to the audience until the end. But in the script, she would still be referred to as Freya. The brewers are the dwarves from the original myth. Yeah, you sometimes say dwarves in the later half, and then the first half you said brewers. So whatever terms you use for the people in the script, be consistent with it. If they're brewers, use brewers throughout the whole thing. If they're dwarves, use dwarves through the whole thing. Don't switch people's titles in the script. People in dialogue can refer to them as different things. That's fine, but in the script, keep them the same. So yeah, then the dwarves do it wrong. Like classes and subclasses. Not here, unfortunately. No, like the dwarves were the brewers in the first half. They had mentioned the brewers, and then sometimes they called them dwarves. So the dwarves were the brewers. Oh, you're having the bad internet connection. I'm sorry, Bard. It's rushing to make some changes so you could experience as an audience first. Okay. So they do it wrong. They do the wrong type of honey. Red comes in and takes some stuff. He then leaves it to a giant. And I'm guessing the giant's daughter. It just says his daughter, so I'm not sure if it's Red daughter or the giant's daughter. To guard it. And then she's like, oh yeah, that man would do anything for a drink, would he? And then she just talks and we wake up and I'm like, wait, what was the end of the story? Wait, what was... Is anything gonna happen? Is he gonna get a drink that's just terrible in the future? Red is Odin. Yeah, but nobody ever really found out. Like, Odin... Okay, yes, and then just say Odin. Just say Odin in the script. So Odin went in, he stole some samples, but he's just letting it age. So I don't think he's found out that it's, not good yet. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like the plot isn't done yet. Like, that's just, like, the beginning of a story in my head. Where does the actual myth end? Does anyone ever find out that the dwarves messed up? Does anyone, like, ever punish the dwarves? Does Odin sip this in, like, 500 years and he's like, this is terrible brew? Is Freya just over here laughing at them, being like, ha ha ha? Like, it didn't quite feel like the ending of a story yet. It almost felt like we woke up too soon. Like, that was just the start of the story. Yeah, he thinks he's smart. It's a bit of hidden humor, not an Easter egg. Yes, in the myth they know they messed up, but they never got in trouble in the myth. Okay. So does the myth actually just end here? With Odin going back and she's like, oh yeah, let it age, and then he just goes about it and like, nothing. Is that where the story is? It doesn't feel like the ending of a story. It doesn't quite feel right yet. Odin and dwarves. Let me see here. I'll give you a second to type. Magical drink brew draws from the blood of the wisest being Kavisir. That's the AI overview. I'm not going to give too much credence to that. So the giant stole what Odin disguised as the wanderer, seduced the giantess guardian, drank all 3 containers in 3 sips, and escaped as an eagle to bring wisdom to gods and worthy poets. There's something here with like the giants and stuff. He thinks he stole the poet meat. He's always chasing after wisdom. There's conflicting tellings of this tale. Okay, so you're going off this particular version of it. That's fine. I feel like it just doesn't quite feel finished. I settle on a reasonable, historically plausible telling. Okay. Hi, Black Dragon Tavern. It's good to see you guys again. There's like 3 Athena stories in conflict or something. Yeah. for tomorrow, you. Yeah, so whatever version you're doing, it just doesn't quite feel like it's the end. It's like, okay, he takes the drink back. It's never explained yet to the audience of like, oh yeah, he's pursuing wisdom. This drink makes you wise. You explain things like in text, but you're saying this text isn't going to be visible to the viewer, so I'm unclear how the viewers will actually understand some of this stuff. Let's know what yourself is Freya. Let me fade out. So I'm wondering if maybe just continue on a little bit more, especially as this little bit from Freya here at the end seems unrelated. We will explore this tale again in another episode, and it explains a lot more as she remembers who she is. Well, she already knows who she is. She's the legendary witch herself. So it seems like she knows. If there's a plot of like she doesn't know who she is, that is not explained here in the first episode. I don't know why my model keeps glaring. I'm not trying to look mean. It's partially known? Okay. So yeah, I wonder, maybe there's some stuff here I'm missing because of the current format of the script. But I feel like if there's a subplot here, that needs to be more clearly stated. There's a whole other side she's starting to remember. Where was that in this story? I didn't hear any real subplot from Freya. If there was a subplot with Freya, it's at least not in this version that I read. Sorry, that was a hiccup. But I'm wondering, do you want to explore this story again, or do you just want to tell the tale of Odin like stealing from the dwarves who messed up the brew? Maybe just get the story done. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I'm unclear if people will continue and watch another episode redoing the story, but just more. You know what I mean? I feel like people just want to see the story in episode 1. Especially since it sounds like you're doing different tales and myths in different episodes. So that's why I'm like, wait, does it make sense to revisit it? I'm not quite sure. Maybe you have a story Bible if you have a general outline. That's in a little bit of a clearer format than this. Maybe we can look at that next time. And I can give better feedback on what would be a good chance to go in. Like, do we need to lean into that? You do have a story Bible? Okay, is the story Bible in kind of this format? This is a little hard for me to read, I'm going to be honest. Or is it a little bit more tidied up? If it's a little bit more tidied up, we can keep reading it. And I'll try to give better feedback. I'm wondering if my feedback's maybe not too helpful right now. What's a story Bible? A story Bible is generally when you can go through, and if you're dealing with multiple episodes of something, like if you're pitching it, it's been ran through AI to make it tidier. Okay. Okay, whatever. Fuck it. I generally don't like any AI submitted stories here, but whatever. But to answer your story, French fry, a story Bible is when you're like a Danny Phantom, right? If you were pitching the story for Danny Phantom, I think that's a TV show a lot of humans know, right? You're like, yeah, here's Danny Phantom. The general story, right? The overarching story is Danny is going to school and living with ghost hunter parents while hiding he's half ghost. That's the overarching story, right? Every single episode we're dealing with that overarching plot. But then you might be like, okay, we have 10 episode season. Each episode is fighting a different cool ghost plus box ghost. But at the season finale, one family member, Jasmine, I think that Jasmine was the sister, right, will discover his identity. Right? You're just laying out what I already have and still have to correct it. What happened here? Wait, I'm behind the chat. For security reasons, you're already chatty enough. Yeah, so I like it. I get to learn. Yeah, I feel like we're all learning together. Even I'm learning stuff. I always say every single stream I learn things from you guys. So you would have like, okay, so then you would then go further into your story Bible and you would do what happens in episode 1. Let's say it's the fight with the box ghost. Box ghost. And then for the bigger plot, Danny hides from his teachers, his ghost powers, right? I don't remember what the episodes were, but that's what you kind of do. Gotta catch them all because I'm Danny Phantom. And then episode 2, the one of the week, the ghost of the week would be, what is it, Vlad? Vlad, overarching story. He is family friend and knows Danny is a half ghost. Right? So you would go through, it's the story Bible, so you're planning out what's the overarching story, and then what's the episodic stories. And then you're laying out what happens in each episode. Typically in more detail than this, but this is like the bare necessities of what you need to do, right? Like you're saying what happens in each episode, what happens for the overall plot in each episode, to make sure it's consistent, to like make sure that nothing's going out of whack. Like you don't want in episode 3, like, oh, the mom finds out Danny is a half ghost, and then episode 4 you go back to them not knowing. Is this different from a plot grid? It is a little bit like if you're having a full pitch study Bible, then you're even having stuff like concept art. You're having all the named characters. You're trying to like almost sell it, so it's almost like a pitch sell thing, just to show that, like, yeah, I know everything that's gonna happen in the series in the season. Please give me money so I can make this. That's kind of what the plot Bible is. You're gonna have references. You're gonna have everything. The plot grid, if you're doing the technique I'm thinking of, might be more just, can be used for anything. It can be used for stories. It can be used for books. And you might just be laying things according to a plot outline. It's a little bit different from a story Bible. We're talking about episodic storytelling. Or they were asking what like a story Bible is for like an episodic thing, for like stories that are in multiple episodes. And what does that do? So we're taking note of the overarching story that's going to happen in like a season, and we're taking note of what's going to happen in each episode. It's episodic. Explain it better. Pitch and make sure the subplot she learns or discovers something in the episode. Yeah, because she's... Look at me. Wait. I'm a discovery right. I can't do every bit of it. I cry. Wait, sorry, Keens. I'm just a little... I'm confused again in chat. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read it. What happened? What are we... Do you mean you're discovery writer? Do you mean you're a pantser instead of a plotter? That's fine. For pantsers, you're just writing like what I do here. Like, you're just figuring shit out. Until you know it, and then you go back and then you make your plot outline. Yeah, and if there is no overarching story, then you would mention that. Yeah, all hail the Wi-Fi screen. All hail. Let me redo my lo-fi beats. But that would just be something you would note in it. Like, hey, there cannot be inconsistencies. There is no overarching stuff. Every single episode is reset to these default settings. So the characters aren't going to be more jaded in episode 3. They're not going to be more self-aware in season 2. The parents aren't going to die in any of the later seasons. Everything's always reset. Everything is consistent, and you would list those core principles about the characters that never change to keep it consistent. But yeah, that's, you would make note of it in your little plot study Bible. So I'll hold off on this for now, because I think they said they had a... Let's see. I'll go ahead and delete this one for now, because I've read it. Let's see, delete message. Okay, that's gone from the queue. She's learning through the series. Are you talking about the witch still? Are you talking about Freya? Who her other side is. At the end, she discovers she's the legendary witch. The Bulba? What? I should make this bit bigger too. What? That is that the word you mean? Wait, what? Yeah, staff carrier or wand carrier. Okay. So yeah, that is the real word. Okay, that's correct. Huh, how cool. And like I said, I learn something new every day. So that is a word. Do you have anything I did good? I think it might be a little too early for me to talk about like good things for plot-wise and stuff. I'm still just seeing the beginning of it. Like a legendary Volvo. I think I like the concept of going into myths and mythology, but I'm not actually quite sure yet what your overarching story is. I think in this current thing I have more questions than answers. But I always do I like new concepts. I like to encourage more YouTube stuff. I like this idea of it's being animated and voice acted. I like delving into stories and myths and legends throughout history, especially since it seems you're trying to do a more historical inspired concept of it. Like you're trying to make it historically plausible. I'm not quite sure how historically plausible it's going to be dealing with things like the mythical dwarves or magic. So it's kind of like a give and take of how historically accurate you can keep it. But I get the vibe you're going for. What's the most historically plausible you can do? And I think that's a really fun direction to take it in. I think this is a cool project idea. I think you're having this overarching plot that I'm just not quite sure of still. So is it mostly gonna stick with myths and legends of Freya? Myths and legends that have to do with that particular pantheon of deities? Or are we going like all over the world and all over time periods and stuff? Yeah, definitely keep it up. See there. PP, make them say your name. They said they're just saying call me instead of saying PP. You gotta make them say call you PP. Everything that involves Freya, but in different time periods. Okay, so that would go into your pitch when you're explaining this. Like, this is an animated series going into myths and legends surrounding Freya with an overarching plot. Okay, see that that lets me know. That lets me know what you're working on. I think I went to this still a little confused, and now I'm finally getting the bit that you're trying to do. That's right, you gotta call them PP. They're gonna get upset until you do. They get really angry. They're gonna threaten you with like the knife raccoon emotes and like the gun raccoon emotes. That's right, you had to call it PP. I'm still a child at heart. That will always get me. It will spit on me. Alright. But yeah, I think you have a cool, fun project. I think it just needs to be tidied up a bit and clarified what is your overarching plot now. If you have a more tidied up story Bible, I don't mind looking at it now. And maybe if I look at it now, you can submit it now, and I can look at it, and maybe I could give better feedback. I feel like right now my feedback was a little bit lackluster. Oh, your almighty PP. Oh no. Yes, you got it? Okay. Let's see here. Did I just not see it yet? Oh, did some... Let's do 100% would recommend. Oh, thank you so much for the follow! I hope you like hanging out with us here at the Cryptid Cult. I gotta say hi to the Wild Bard. I gotta do that. Let's see in story submissions. Where is... You send it to me? Okay. Yeah, we just got me a second. But yeah, I think maybe when I understand the... It's been informative, but happy to find it. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, wait, thank you. Thank you guys for joining the Cryptid Cult. Yeah, we hang out here. I try to give a critique and feedback and advice for everyone's stories. Everyone in chat is always welcome to give critique and feedback as well, as long as we always are nice to each other. But yeah, I think this is that critique kind of group that I would want, where we just all try to improve together. Somebody screaming goats? No, that's a screaming witch cackle, right? Hi. Is it written by Liv? Is that how you say it? Hello. The stream is going well. We just finished up an episode 1 script for somebody's YouTube series that they're going to be working on, and right now they're going to be sending me their story Bible, so we can kind of look at the series as a whole and see if there's any better feedback and critique I can give about it. So let's see here. I'm not seeing it yet. This wasn't like a direct message thing, right? No, I don't see anything there. But yeah, I hope if you guys also like learning about writing and learning about story crafting. We don't just do novel writing or script writing here. We do all forms of storytelling here. I like going out into all the different methods. Does that mean I know the most about all the different methods? Absolutely not. But I always like learning. Oh, you're just copying and pasting into a different file format. Okay. And that's one of the things here. I'm by no means a major authority that can all know in person. I learn a lot from you guys too. That's part of the fun bit. That's part of like I keep showing up here, right? I learn from you guys too. But yeah. Has anyone had any fun word counts? Or any? It's not called word counts. What is it when you do the speed words when you sit down? The writing sprints. Speed words. Has anyone done any fun writing sprints lately? I don't want this social interest in liminal spaces to die right now, so now I'm creating liminal spaces in Minecraft? Oh. Roots is a huge person into Minecraft. I missed out on all the Minecraft hype. You are an all-knowing expert? I have nothing left to learn. That's why everyone goes to Black Dragon Tavern. That's exactly why I see everyone goes to that stream, because they know everything. They're cool. You're about to start a first pass or revisions for my first draft. Finishing at 90k right now. Hayden Hart, that's an amazing progress. And hey, good for you. Sometimes there's a lot of writers out there. It's like, what is it, like 1% of writers will actually sit down and get their rough draft done, and then 1% of that will actually then sit down and do the edits. I'm probably getting those numbers wrong, but it's that smaller percentage. To finish a story, the rough draft, and then sit down and be like, okay, now it's time to make it good. What number am I thinking of? Your username's literally PP. I'm gonna guess 69. I've been doing this for 20 odd years and I'm still refining and learning. No, Black Dragon Tavern, please. You gotta keep up. You gotta keep up the bit. You know everything. Hold on. So let's go ahead and load this. Let's see here. You gotta tell all these raccoons you know everything. They'll believe you. Yes, it looked like it worked. There's a lot of pound symbols. Whatever method works for you. You're procrastinating writing sprints at the moment. I really should try and get them this afternoon. It's always hard. Yeah. I was correct. See, I knew it. I knew you had the same childish humor as me. This is an out-of-date Bible as of today. Okay, so we'll read it and oh wait, this is a long Bible. Okay, this is 17 pages. So I can't promise I'll get through the whole thing, but we'll at least get a gist of the first couple of episodes. Because you learned a lot about the ash tree. I'm new to writing. What's a writing sprint? A writing sprint is when you sit down and you can set a time limit, or you can give yourself a word limit. Whatever. No, mouse, please work. Whatever works for you, and you'll either set that timer or you'll set that word count goal, and you will just sit down, no interruptions, no pausing, and you will just keep writing. If you don't know what to write next, you can literally just keep it up and be like, I don't know what to write next. Fuck. Okay. The princess is stuck in the dungeon, but my main hero needs to get her dumbass out to safety, right? And you're just keep writing. You're just gonna sit down and either you'll give yourself the word limit. You cannot stop until you reach that word count limit. If it's 500 words, if it's 1,000 words, whatever it is. Normally a sprint's a kind of a smaller thing. It's just to get you started. So it's normally like 300 or 500 words. Or if it's minutes, you'll do like a 3-minute timer or a 5-minute timer. And it's just to force you to focus and get the words out, even if you don't know what it is. And then you might be like, mouse, work with me here. Then he might be like, okay, I didn't know what the solution to this problem is. Mouse, please. Stop giving me tech issues. The raccoons are watching me. You're being a bad example. So they might be like, he has to blow up the dungeon because she has a fire talisman that will protect her. Right? Like, whatever stupid shit you're doing. Yeah, welcome to the writing community. Hope you're having fun. You a lot of the big chunks of your writing to the sprints. I did do a sprint the other day, writing another example story for the Tavern Short Story Contest. It still needs considerable work, but it was about 5,000 words in 8 hours. Oh my god, that's amazing progress. That's so much good work. Yes, but yes, welcome to the writing community, and hey, I hope you have fun here. Whether or not you're writing yourself, whether you just like listening back and supporting and helping other writers, whatever your mode of storytelling is, I hope you have fun here. So let's look at this. This is going to be... Okay, so it's in sections here. So the first pound symbol means the Skaldic method and the Skaldic court. 2 is the complete series production overview. You read, concentrate on a rough storyboard first, and then at least you don't have to worry about where the story is going next. You just have to embellish it. And then 3 is the comprehensive document, all episodes, direction, theory, and context. So yeah, this is the story about. We're having the premises, we're having the overview, all this different stuff. This is what I'm saying, like you're keeping the series in mind, you're keeping the episodes in mind, all the different stuff. That's what the story Bible has. Anything you have questions about, you would refer back to the Story Bible. The Story Bible knows all. So part 1, the series concept. Core premise. It's a 2-part educational entertainment series that argues Norse mythology functioned as a sophisticated historical encoding system. Specifically that the goddess Freya is the allegorical preservation of the Celtic warrior queen Boudica. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And that Yggdrasil, the world tree, is a navigational map of Europe. The series is presented through the perspective of a recurring character, the Dreamer. The audience is the Dreamer. We never hear the Dreamer speak, we only see the world through their eyes and hear their questions reflected back through Freya's responses. She is reading our mind, answering questions we haven't asked yet, reacting to our skepticism before we voice it. Yeah, so this is one that I got like, okay, it's a 2-part educational entertainment, right? We're learning about the Norse myths. We're also being entertained because it's a fun little animated thing on our screen. But everything else I did not get from that first episode. That was not the goal. I think if you just keep it, it's like it's a blah 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 words. It's an educational entertainment series about Norse mythology, specifically on Freya. I'm not quite sure where you're arguing the rest of this quite yet. Maybe it happens later. Boudica and Yggdrasil. Boudica and Yggdrasil. When the poet wrote down their stories and myths, when the poets wrote down their stories and myths, they were documenting real history. Yeah. That oh yay, I nailed it. Thank you, Black Dragon Tavern. Oh my goodness, you and Chatty Matty always keep me in check with my horrible pronunciations. She's a linguist now. Okay, quick, write that down my notes. Write down my notes. Okay, linguist too. Oh my god. This thing, I think you're almost emphasizing too much all of this, just saying the series is presented through the perspective of a recurring character, the Dreamer. The Dreamer acts as the audience's eyes, right? This is almost getting a little too deep into it. So the series, the Skaldic Method or Skaldic Wisdom. We have 9 dream episodes. Freya teaches the Dreamer directly. It's intimate, personal, investigative. Each episode visits a different setting, reflecting its subject. The Dreamer gradually pieces together the evidence until the moment of recognition. This might actually be true. Series 2, The Skaldic Court or Skaldic Trial. The courtroom drama. Everything learned in the dreams is now tested. Oh, it's 9 is an important number? Where do we see 9? Oh, it's the 9 dreams. Okay. Challenged and defended before 9 justices, each representing a critical discipline. The investigation becomes the trial. The audience, having lived through the dreams, arrives already emotionally invested and equipped to evaluate the evidence. Wait. The naming. Both series titles are still under consideration. Current option. Okay, this is just the naming. Whatever. Final decision pending. The audience knows what the Skaldic method is by experiencing it. So just from this, I still don't know what the Skaldic method is. What are we going to trial for? So we're learning myths and stories about Freya. Through Freya. Freya's teaching the Dreamer. And now we have this courtroom drama. Everything learned is now being tested, challenged, and defended. So what is being... Is it like a quiz? Is it a quiz show? Is that what you mean by it? Or is like there's some like murder trial? What is the trial? Why does it say no budget needed? Yet because claiming she is Freya would be considered hearsay. Well, are you things feel personal? Literally is what it is about. We don't need that sentence. Hearsay. Yeah. Memory preserving truth through story. Dreamers never seen, never heard. They are the camera and the audience. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Each of the 9 dream episodes visit a different setting reflecting its subject matter. These are not literal realm tours. 9 pieces of evidence, 9 moments of wisdom building toward the trial. The settings are historically grounded places that map onto the realms of Yggdrasil, made human, made real. See. Eric opens with her. I'm reading through it real quick. Hold on. Sorry, this isn't the normal reading I do on stream. Normally I'm reading everything out, but I'm trying to see what our thread here, because what you tell me in chat versus what I'm getting from the document is sometimes very different. Versus what I got from the first document, the first episode you gave me. I'm like, these are all different things. These are all about different things. Okay, emotional range. Some meta jokes. Okay, the general thesis. The systemic 3-layer method. So, I did say this is out of date. I do need to rework this document a lot, but it's what I had on hand. That's fine. I'm just trying to make sure that because you're just saying it's out of date. I don't know what parts of out of date, so I can only comment on what I'm seeing here. So, it seems like you have 2 conflicting things, right? I shouldn't say conflicting. I should say 2 different things here. One part of you wants to tell the story of different myths involving Freya in the Norse mythology. And then you want to reference, hey, I think Freya could have been, in the storytelling, a reference to Boudica? Is that how you say it? Let me look up how to say it. Boudica. Yeah, Boudica. I think you can just reference that. You can maybe make her inspired by, because a lot of every animation, everything, right? A lot of animators will do those subtle hints and those references to stuff. I don't think that's unheard of if you do want to tie in this mythological character to Boudica. It's the same thing, they map identically. Okay, from me as a reader, reading your script from episode 1, it just seemed like a fun little story of sharing a Norse myth, and that Freya's there guiding us, and that there seems to be this overarching story with Freya. Freya's going to be hanging out with our character and showing different stuff about it. Then there seems to be this other thing that you're mentioning here of then you're going to argue, it's going to go to court, we're going to do this thing of realizing Freya is Boudica. This other character that you're saying would be hearsay. I'm wondering if that's needed, or can you just reference like, hey, yeah, Freya in this creative work was inspired by Boudica. I think she's inspired by Boudica. Do we need the whole trial part? How is the trial part handled? I think I'm a little lost on that. The last episode, she finally pieces the last bit together. Okay, so she doesn't even realize she is it. She's regaining the memory while we, the viewers, are also getting it. So I'm like, do you want this to be a cool, fun thing of a character that is based off Freya realizing she is Boudica and we're going on this cool quest with Freya? Or do you want this to be a historical educational thing where we are learning myths about Freya? Because right, it seems like there's a lot of different directions here. Hold on. It's both. Okay. After Sango's picture says 1,000 words. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A visual reference. I think she could absolutely be inspired by Boudica. I'm wondering just the tones here of the educational bit of arguing this thing if she is Boudica. Would that just be better to have a video essay on and follow a YouTuber arguing that Freya is Boudica and that there's this educational like way of method? Is that just better as a video essay? Or are we doing this long thing where we're gonna learn all the myths? It's fun, exciting. It's not a documentary. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sounds like maybe edited visual. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. In the first script they showed us, right? A lot of the stuff didn't quite have the visuals yet. We were just being told the information. So that's what. And I'm not saying like add visuals to. I'm saying like it wasn't explaining the visuals. So maybe there's a disconnect with what I'm trying to visualize for it. In my head, I'm not quite sure these two different things are going to merge well together, but that's me as an outsider. Maybe the vision in your head is a lot stronger and you see the vision, I just can't see it yet. So in that case, put my judgment aside. You're not writing this for Cryptid. You're not writing it for the random blue VTuber on your screen, right? I'm not maybe your target audience. Maybe that you are your target audience first and foremost. And if you see the vision and you can argue for it, and you're like, yeah, this will work out, this does make sense, you're just not seeing how it's going to play out yet, Cryptid, then I'll defer to you. You see how these two different concepts are coming together. And I'll refer to you. I'll be like, okay, sure, we'll trust the process here. So then what can I actually say to help here? What can I say as critique? I would say the story Bible, I think someone mentioned it read a little funny earlier. And I think you even mentioned you put it through, you wrote all the stuff yourself, but it was edited through ChatGPT. Maybe that's where. Anyone here know Bill and Ted? Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Yes. I'm wondering if maybe some of the funniness is just because you did run it through AI. Maybe I'll write it off as that. Normally I don't read anything to AI here. Yeah. Think like that. How they tell you in their words, think like that. Okay. And maybe that's where the funniness is coming from here. But definitely, I'm not sure if I think you said you're self-doing this, so you don't need to tidy this up. I was going to give like some advice. I'm like, oh, how do you tidy this up more for people to pick up the project? This is just for you. This is just your own story Bible, so you don't actually need that advice. So I won't get that. That's fine. That's not helpful to you. So let's see here. What would be a cryptid's advice when I'm not the target audience? I have to think here. I think plan out. I think my first advice stands. The ending of that first episode felt a little wonky still. It felt a little sudden. And I think maybe lay some of the breadcrumbs to Freya/Boudica's subplot earlier. We read that first episode and there weren't any B plots. There wasn't any hints to Freya not knowing who she was or having the lost memories or being this other character. So I would say you don't have to like fully tell it, but like leave some breadcrumbs in the first episode to put that subplot, the beginnings of it, into action, right? We want both the A and the B subplot if those are going to be throughout both. So that would be my first advice. Insert the B plot. And then it's a good advice. Thank you. I'm trying. And that's not me being like, oh no, like this idea is bad and therefore like I'm trying. No, like I think this idea is good. I think I'm just not the target audience for it, and that's fine. I'm never gonna be the target audience for everything, right? That happens. So I'm trying to give you like, okay, knowing I'm not the target audience, knowing I'm too small brain cryptid to see the vision. What's some stuff I can say here? So insert the B plot. I think. Fixing them on my own too, alongside your advice too, if that makes sense. Man, everyone's using all the AI stuff. And then maybe I don't have a second edit yet. I think my second edit was just like, oh yeah, just go back and oh, so yeah, my first edit was the B plot, and my first edit critique was like, hey, it ended suddenly. Maybe rethink the ending here. We need a little bit more. So I think those are my two critiques then. Yeah, sorry, I think I just had an ADHD moment. I thought I was just giving one critique. So the first is insert the B plot. The second is, hey, the ending's a little wonky, work on the ending. It didn't quite feel like the mythology story was over yet. So I think those are my 2 critiques for you so far. I think I'm just going to stick to the first episode critiquing. But otherwise, I wish you much luck. I'm sorry if I wasn't too helpful with this one. All the way just a side note. Yeah, you mentioned that. You mentioned it. I was just commenting, like, man, everyone's using the AI nowadays. What was I saying? Yeah, I think that's where I leave it. I think if I try to go into anything further, I don't think it's actually going to be helpful to you. I think, and I never want to do it. I never want to hinder my raccoons from their creative works. So I think that's a good spot for me to leave it at, of being helpful, rather than trying to derail things or make it fit a vision in my head that's not your vision. I never want to contort your guys' creative works into something in my head. That's never fun. More. He's just throwing me off. Okay. We don't need to talk about AI in chat anymore. We don't need to. It's gonna be depressed. Anyway, I think that will be it for tonight. Visually or through Freya's actions and words. Okay. Clap, 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 bang. I don't know what that's a reference to. I just assumed the Witch Reverend stuff was to Freya. Right, was to Freya. And even in the thing, we don't actually even know that that's Freya. It's never, I don't think it said her name in the first episode. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here tonight. I think this was a good ending. As a note to all my raccoons, I normally stream every other day, which would mean my next stream day would be Monday. I will actually not be streaming on Monday. Monday I will also have to take off. There is some real life stuff that is happening on Monday that takes precedence. So I will try to stream again after Monday. If you guys need any updates or any reviews on the schedule, I will let you guys know in Discord. Oh, I'm sorry, Bard. Yeah, normally, Bard, I stream every other day. There is a real life thing happening, and that's thrown off the schedule a little bit. So normally it would be Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will not be happening. I'll try to continue streaming on Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is just a little wonky bit where I need that longer break, but it's just some real life stuff that's happening. But otherwise, thank you all raccoons for hanging out with me, and I will keep you guys updated in the Discord, because normally I try not to mess with the schedule too much. If anyone needs a reminder, I'll be reminding you guys there. In Unreal Life. Good night, chatters. Good night, my raccoons. Everyone, I hope you get comfy and cozy tonight, and you guys all have a wonderful night. Goodbye. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.